everybody? AyeMontie here with another episode of Chill. It's just a podcast. And man, as you guys can see, the usual cast, they're just not here today. But they all have their own reasons. Ed's out there getting money. Tay just wasn't feeling good today. So shit, man. I got my boy here. 3YDA. I call him JR, but that's my boy. What's up, bro?
What's going on, man?
How you feeling, bro?
I feel good, man. I'm happy to be here. You know what I'm saying?
It's been a long time coming, man.
Yeah. Been about 17 and a half years.
17 and a half years?
Yeah. 17 and a half years.
I don't know if I've known you for that long, but...
Yeah, like spiritually, though.
Spiritually, okay.
Out of body.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, it's a brand new day here, It's just getting better. I'm getting better with the thing here. Any announcements we got? Really don't have anything right now. It's been really kind of laid back. It's been kind of chill. Really haven't been doing too much. The song's still circulating on TV, so that's cool. And it's gonna be doing that for the next few months, so that's pretty cool. Otherwise, shit, man. Yeah, I'm just gonna stop that. Well, I'm stopping the Wi-Fi part because that'll fuck us over. Oh, man. But, yeah, so, fuck. Yeah, it's just, my energy today, bro. I got to tell you, my energy today has just been so calm, but, just so weird. And I've just been in a funk that I've been slowly getting out of.
Yeah.
But it's, my energy today has just been so, for me personally, I usually have a lot of energy. I just don't today.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, bro. I know I had a rough week, but, shit, I'm getting through. You feel me? So, shit, man, let's talk, man. So, first things first, let's talk about you. Who are you? What you do? Where are you from? Just the basics of yourself, you know what I mean?
So, I'm 3YDA. I'm a human, you feel me? I'm from Earth, you dig what I'm saying?
I feel it.
Yeah, that's what I do is, I'm just at peace, you feel me? So, when you said, I just feel too peaceful, that's how I'd rather feel.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Because I think it's a lot of anxiety that come with the ups and downs of it, being excited, you know what I'm saying, sad. So I try to find a constant, and I try to stick right there. You feel me?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're a pretty mellow dude, bro.
Yeah.
At least every interaction I've had with you, pretty mellow dude, bro.
Yeah.
How do you maintain that just chillness,
Because I've been through a lot. You feel me? I grew up fast. I was excited young kid, you know what I'm saying? So I went outside and I tried to figure out and do certain things. So as I got older, I feel like I just hit that curve, damn, I'm gonna go ahead, chill out, and you know what I'm saying? I ain't too excited about it too much. And then I train, and you know what I'm saying, I keep my health in a certain position, so you know what I'm saying, I keep me under control. And it helped, you feel me? Because I think people that I love and I'm around, I'm responsible for, they can depend on that, you know what I'm saying? They never gotta worry is he gonna be crying or he gonna be yelling, or I'm gonna always be one way because this is my responsibility.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, man.
Yeah.
How do, it's just to me it's a hard thing to do to kind of maintain a certain lifestyle. I'm gonna say a healthy one. I think it's a challenge for a lot of people, especially myself, to maintain that healthy lifestyle. And I don't want to say that everything you do is total health because you drink Red Bulls and shit. No, you in the Black and Miles and shit here and there, But it's I'm gonna say for the most part though, you keep your health pretty well. You know what I mean? What made you really start to focus more on that, on the health side of your life?
Yeah. So, I think it's about balance. You feel me? So maybe a couple days out the week, I might not even eat for real. I might just drink water. So I balance my shit out. So if I feel man, on Saturday we getting ready to go out and we gonna drink, and I'm not gonna limit myself, I'm gonna take a couple days and just let my body do what it's gotta do. And I feel I'm not putting myself in an unnormal routine or whatever. You feel me? I'm just balancing the equation. You know what I mean?
Have you been so did you kind of create a routine for yourself and then kind of keep it going from there? What is your routine?
I think it started off with my growing up, you feel me? Because my mom, she ain't never really cooked no crazy shit. It was always chicken, rice, fish, vegetables. You know what I'm saying? That's what we had to spend our money on. So I just kind of took that mentality. And if I couldn't, after a while, if I'm eating I get tired of it physically. I
Yeah.
don't want it, so I just won't. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
And then it'll
Absolutely.
push me to, you know what I'm saying. So it all starts like how you kind of you grew up, and then if you want to change those habits, like it's just gonna be hard to work. So I just go off of that blueprint, and whatever I feel good doing, that's what I do. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Do you think there's like, for people who aren't, like, people more or less like myself who don't really go to the gym that much, who I really don't focus too much on my health, what are some of the struggles like that you think that could be overcame when it comes to like do you think it's people making excuses, more or less excuses, like, oh, I want to go to the gym but I got this going on, I got that going on, and like, is it excuses that people are making? How could I overcome them?
I don't know. I think like it's super simple. Like I don't base like if I'm going to the gym, I can't just make my mind say, all right, I gotta go to the gym. Like I gotta be grinding. It's something I gotta want that's bigger than the gym. Like if I want a certain type of bag to come in, or I want a certain type of outcome in my business, and it's certain things I can't control. I go to the gym to use that as a thing that I can't control, and I just I put that energy out there. I just stay connected to that little frequency of whatever I'm trying to achieve. You feel me? So the gym ain't so I can physically look good. Like that's a byproduct. Dig what I'm saying?
Yeah, do you feel like you really use it for your mental as well, like?
I don't know, cause it was a long period of time I didn't go to the gym. I wasn't trying to get fit. I ain't care if you had bicep or tricep. I ain't care about none of that. But when I wanted other things, like I wanted, you know what I'm saying? Like I wanted a certain bag to come in. I wanted a certain, you feel me, like emotional stability. So it's like you work on what you can control, and it start with your body. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So now we go to the gym,
for sure. Yeah.
or we go walking, or whatever is accessible to you. Just so I caught that bug though in the gym. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel like it's just like learning discipline from that point. Like the gym can really help you learn discipline. You know what I mean? Like, because I mean, for me personally, I know when I was younger and in high school and I was working out a lot more and doing shit like that, like the the discipline that I learned from that helped me do better in other aspects. Because like I started to just kind of get more on that, like, oh no, I got to get it done. You know, I have more energy too. I think has it helped kind of really enhance your discipline for your like self discipline for other things outside of the gym?
Yeah, yeah, I can say that. I feel like for real, I'm gonna turn my dog up regardless. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna turn my dog up regardless, and um, it's just another thing. So if I think I just replaced it with something else I was doing, I might have been spending money at the store, going crazy on this right here, and that was what I was into. So if I just swap it out. Either way, it's the same discipline. Whether I'm doing something that ain't, you know what I'm saying, necessarily like good in somebody else's perspective, it don't really matter. It's the same discipline. I just apply it to whatever I'm doing. Cause I always turn my dog up. So it's like you do multi things. Like bro, you record, you engineer, you graphic design, you play all these different roles. That's discipline. I think discipline is not. It's not stuck to one thing. Like you can transfer discipline over.
Yeah,
You feel me?
for sure. I
Yeah.
think, yeah, I definitely agree with that. Like that's kind of what like my point was with when I was working out a lot more often, playing basketball and shit. It kind of just motivated me to keep disciplining in other aspects of my life. And now I definitely feel like from like where I'm at right now, like my work ethic as far as like my discipline when it comes to working is pretty solid, because like if I don't get something done, I just feel like awful about it. Like I feel really bad about it, and I hate not getting the work that I have to do done,
Mm-hmm.
and it kind of brings my energy down. So when it comes to doing like just edits, or I've been making myself kind of make beats again lately. I'm even trying to get back into the songwriting and making songs again, just to get myself back motivated.
Right in that pocket
Yeah,
for sure.
because I feel like we all go through funks. You know what I mean? Like we all go through things in life, and sometimes you just kind of get put into a little ditch that you kind of gotta climb out of, and it's sometimes a struggle.
Yeah.
That's the kind of the next thing that I want to go to. Like, how do you keep yourself mentally strong through everything that you do and anything that you go through? How do you kind of just keep yourself going without losing that stride?
That's a good question, man. I I think it kind of boils down to perception. You know what I'm saying? I don't really. My strength might be different than the next individual, so it might come off as, you feel me, like I'm doing something special, but in reality, like I just keep my perspective um, clear. You know what I'm saying? I take the time. Like if I got emotions or I feel a way about something, I'm gonna dive into it 100%. I'm not gonna act like it don't exist. That's one of the things I do. It's like if I gotta do this right now, I gotta take care of this. You feel me? I'm not gonna act like that don't exist. You know what I'm saying? If I want to get here, I want to get to like this next level or whatever, and I gotta wait. And I'm just that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? And I turn that into another exercise, a mental exercise. I'm testing my dog. Then you feel me?
Yeah.
And in my emotions to say like, damn, like you need to do this or this ain't. You know what I'm saying? And I the win is when you can control those emotions and stick through it and just you know what I'm saying. Keep your perspective clean. Keep your perspective in a not even positive, just in a good a space that allow you to do something. You know what I'm saying? I gotta
Yeah.
do something.
Yeah, I was just actually having a conversation with my man Dwayne earlier, and it's really I think a lot of it. Well, it got switched cameras, my fault. I think a big important part that I think a lot of people kind of miss out on and forget about is like the self, like motivation, like the self thoughts. Like a lot of people don't have like super happy thoughts all the time, and they don't look at themselves in the most positive lights. And that kind of leads to a lot of depression funks that happen and just kind of just lack of self-confidence. And I think having those kind of self-talks with yourself is something that's just kind of not valued enough in a lot of people's lives. Like you should be talking to yourself a lot more positively, so like how other people see you. So if you have a lot of people who see the good in you, you should start kind of seeing that good, even if you don't fully see it, just kind of seeing it a little differently. Like if I can kind of give this energy off to somebody else, maybe there is something there. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
you might not be exactly where you want to be, but there's still it's still there. Like, that energy is still there, and you got to kind of think more positively about yourself, because when you have negative thoughts all the time, that'll kind of bring you down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, especially when you're in harder situations, harder times and stuff with life,
Yeah.
life and just shit like that. You know what I mean? Yeah, I think self-talking, that being
Well, I
positive.
feel like man, I used to be hard on like when I was growing up. Like I had my homies or whatever, and there's certain things I wanted to do. Like I think like man, we need to get together and make some money or do this play. And I was real hard on them. Like I ain't, you know what I'm saying? I held them to a expectation that they just, you feel me? That's not where they was at. And I remember that. So as I got older, like I remember changing my self talk. It wasn't no super positive self talk like, oh my God, you're great, you can be wonderful. I ain't really care about that. I started talking to myself how I talk to anybody. I held myself accountable first. So if I'm on your ass, if I'm on this individual's ass, I'm gonna be on my ass 10 times. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
More
for
because
sure.
this is really my responsibility to execute, not nobody else. I don't put that expectation or responsibility in nobody else's hands. So I talk to me like the realest, like I talk to me crazy. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? And
yeah,
it's not a mindset of, oh man, you can do better. Oh, it's okay. Like, nah, I'm about to get up. I gotta do this. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if it take 10 years of delayed gratification. Every day, I'ma do this. You get no excuses. You feel me? Because you gotta
yeah,
look at it like this. The worst that can happen if you approach it like that is you win and you don't even know it. That's it. You so locked into the process, the worst thing that can happen is that you win and you don't know it. So I'm cool with that in my eyes. I take that to Vegas and bet on that. So I talk to me crazy. I don't have no, oh my God, you could be great. No. I don't give myself none of that. You know what I'm saying? I let my people do that.
yeah. Facts. I think, yeah, because with me personally, it's more or less like just look at who I am and not forgetting who you are and your value in life.
Yeah.
And I think that's one thing that's super important that a lot of people forget is their self-value. And like, don't look at any. It's like you can do a million good things. You do one bad thing, and that's what you're going to be known and remembered for. And it's like, for yourself, if you don't accomplish everything that you were supposed to accomplish, or you're just not where you're at, don't look at that as a negative thing. Just look at it as, all right, well, I got to kind of get through this, and I got to hop over these obstacles, and whatever the case is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's
So for me, it's like a matter of time. It's not a matter of when or if. It's more so a matter of when.
Yeah.
I don't really, I can't gauge it based on like what anybody look at it like, or because it's like I got the all knowing POV. Dig what I'm saying? So I can't get. You only got maybe 30%. If it's on Instagram, you see me fail on the net or at work or outside. You only got that experience to gauge. So I got all the intel, the information. So I know from my position, it's only a matter of when. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and
for
my
sure.
whole thing is just to do the time. So this is my time. I gotta wait. If it's 10 years, it's cool. 30 years, 40 years, 50 years. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you gotta be a little bit delusional and say, man, I come back here and do this again if I get opportunity.
It's really betting on yourself and like believing in that bet. You know what I mean? Like, don't bet on yourself and then not believe in yourself. Like, what's the point of that?
Yeah.
Because I feel like you're not gonna get far if you don't really believe. If you don't believe what you're saying 100%, it's just like a salesman. Like any salesman, you know, they're gonna sell their product. If they don't believe their product is really that good, they're not gonna sell it that well. You know, it's even if it's not that good, you gotta believe it is. You know what I mean? That's the same goes for yourself. Like, even if you're just down, you're just negative, you're not thinking the best thoughts at the moment, you gotta just remember the value in yourself, and then you gotta sell yourself and believe in yourself. Like you are that person. You know what I mean?
But it's cool. Like you got an excuse if whatever you selling ain't that for real, right? If it don't work out, you could be like, damn, I just didn't know it wasn't that. You know what I mean? But when your shit is that's a problem.
Right.
That whole dynamic, that whole ideology, it changed because you that.
Yeah.
So
And
my responsibility different.
yeah.
My connection to it different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you when you know your shit that is when you consider that it might not be that. That's when you know.
That's
right?
yeah. I definitely feel you on that. Yeah.
When they say what they say, bliss is what?
Ignorance is bliss.
Ignorance is bliss, right? So when you ignorant to you not being that or whatever, right? Then you good. If you fail, cool. But when you know you that, you know what I'm saying? When your self talking, how you go about your life, and they say how you do anything is how you do everything. When all
For
of
sure.
math is mathing, and they saying I'm that.
Yeah, and if you're not there yet, if you're not that person yet, then get there. Just do what you got to do to get there. That's really all it is. Like, just because you're not that guy yet doesn't mean that you're never going to be that guy, or whatever the case is for yourself. Even for yourself, like, even if you want to, you want to build your confidence, but your confidence isn't there yet. The only way you're going to build your confidence is by building your confidence.
Yeah.
By doing things that are going to put you out of your comfort zone and help you build your confidence. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And that's what I think a lot of people are lacking. Like, they just know, and I mean, for me, I don't even want to speak for everybody. I'm going to speak for myself, is that, like, I know where my strengths are and I know where my weaknesses are, and I play on my strengths pretty well, but my weaknesses I don't. Like, I know they're my weaknesses, and then I don't try to strengthen them. You know what I mean? And that's a thing that I've been really working on, because I do a lot of self-reflection outside of this, outside of everything and everybody. I like to do a lot of self-reflection, but I've kind of noticed that with myself. Like, I gotta build my confidence, use my, like, be confident in my strong suits, because I know this is where I'm strong, but then, like, it's just now strengthening my weak points of where I'm like, all right, I could improve here, so what do I gotta do to improve that? Just work at it, just like everything else that I've done in my life, is just constantly working at it, getting better at it. Just shit like that. It's the self-discipline, self-motivation, like I said. Let's talk about money a little bit. Our economy is pretty fucked up right now. Do you feel like it's affected you at all? Has it affected your grind, your moves, your typical things you may have done to get money? I don't really know what you do, but I know,
I do a lot, but
I know you do it. Yeah.
I think it ain't even a money thing. It's a couple of different parts I got to talk about to even get to, you know what I'm saying, to make it make sense. Like, it's not the money, if you know what I mean. So it's like, one, I don't attach myself to anything I do, right? If I'm a part of something, that's what it is. That's the relationship. What's my role? I just play my role. You know what I'm saying? So I think when you play your role, you got a better chance of success, and the byproduct of success is financial stability, or whatever you want to call it. Some money coming in, however you play it, whatever avenue, industry you in. And then, like, after I understand what's my role and how I need to play it well, That's all I train for. That's all I do. I don't do nothing else. So my my the bills being due is is a uh, is connected to how hard am I doing and playing my role. Get what I'm saying? And whatever it is I'm doing. So if I'm working at Food Line and I'm pushing carts, I'm pushing the hell out of these carts. You get what I'm saying? I'm doing it with a smile.
Yeah.
I'm doing it happily, and it might be $10 an hour. I don't even care. I'm doing this like this is everything to me, right? And if I get home and at the end of the day, I'm still short on my bills, but I know I gave it 120. There's a chance that I could take that same work ethic and go somewhere else and maybe
Exactly. Yeah.
make 50. You know what I mean? Make 100. So I look at that as the bread and butter. You get caught up in the stresses of it, or the economy is going down. But I ain't gonna lie to you, a large percentage of people in America been broke. You know what I'm saying? During the economy being good or bad. You know what I'm saying? And I think the economy it feel worse for somebody without no paper, but in reality, it's to attack those with money. It ain't really about you. You know what I'm saying? You just get to deal with the emotional aspect of it. But in general, you still gonna go out and buy some J's. You still gonna go out and enjoy your life. You know what I'm saying? But if I got $100 million and I'm losing value on each dollar, it hit different. You know what I'm saying? So being a economical analyst and you work at Walmart is counterproductive. You feel me? You might want to just worry about building up your value as an individual, because when you build up value, like no matter what, through whatever the economy is, you're gonna be able to find some money. You're gonna be able to find some success.
Yeah, I think when it comes to that, it's all really about like your work ethic and how hungry you are to try to get it. You know, because it's like there's so many ways out there to get money. It's just that a lot of it takes time and effort and patience and being smart with your decisions and not jumping the gun and doing your research. I think that's really the biggest part, is doing your research on money moves, especially when it comes to like stock market, crypto, shit like that, or even just real estate investments. Doing your research first is going to be one of the most important parts of your success. And I feel like if you're not doing your proper research, you're not networking with the right people, you're not talking to people who are in the field, who know what they're doing, who know, how to get that money, whatever it is that you want to do, then, I mean, you're not going to get too far in that field. I think learning is the most important part. And that's the part a lot of people don't want to do.
Yeah.
Is the learning part. Because, I mean, it's, like I said, it takes a lot of time and effort just for the engineering stuff. Like, it took me 3-4 years just to finally make my first dollar off of music. Like, it took me a few years just to make a few bucks, like $20, doing a recording session or whatever the fuck. And then it took me almost 10 years to finally make like a full income off of it, type of shit. So but it took a lot of learning. It took a lot of building. It took a lot of trial and error. It took a lot of, just a lot of time, effort, and energy to learn what I had to do in order to, successfully do what I had to do. And I still don't even think I successfully do it. I think I do it pretty well. But I still think that I could do it at a higher level if I really tried to.
Yeah.
And I think that's where I've been lacking in the last couple years of my life is I'm too comfortable, and I've been too comfortable, and I've been telling myself to get out of that comfort level, and I haven't done a thing about it, and I take full responsibility for that, bro. I really do.
So it was a long time ago. I was like 9 or something, and I started off. I went like got a bucket and some soap, and I started doing like a little car wash.
There you go.
And then I went to cutting grass, and
Yep.
I remember like I went to my dad. I'm like, I got some money. Can you go break it, turn it to ones? I gotta pay my homies and shit. We gotta go to the store or whatever. And I wanted to divvy up so everybody could get their little cut. And then I remember a couple years later, being like, well, not a couple, 13 years old. I told my pops, like, I'm gonna do this music thing for real. I'm gonna see what's going on with it. And the first thing he told me was like, you gotta make some money. You gotta make some money. And I'm saying that to say that only reason why I did these things wasn't because of the money. I did these things because I seen you need this, I can get this done.
Yeah.
And I found something in that, and that's why I really believe that it ain't about like Bitcoin or real estate or whatever it is if you can manipulate that market to move how you want it to move. If you can play a vital role in that, that's when you get into it. Not because you understand it, You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's because you can change, you can make it work out for you.
Right, right. And how important do you think it is, like, to set up um, different what am I thinking of? The word that I'm thinking of, just like different assets for yourself, for like your financial stability for your future, such as 401k or you know stocks and bonds, or I'm fucking mind blank on what I'm thinking of.
Trust fund.
Trust fund. There you go. That's exactly what I was thinking of. Trust fund, shit like that. How important do you think that is?
I think it's cool if you want to separate yourself from whatever you're doing, like your entity. Like if you want to, like, you know, be able to be your own bank in a way, that's cool. You want to get certain tax deductions. Um, but like, so for me, like, I always think like this, like I'm gonna go make some money first. So if I'm an engineer and I just started, I'm going in the next week or two, I'm gonna make $10, $20 off a rip, because that's gonna tell me what type of move is this. It's a passion move. It's a money move. What we doing? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I think a lot of times you get so prepared, and you can't never stop being prepared. You'll never stop growing.
Yeah.
So it's like, if it's about some money, you want to do this with some money, go get money first. Go establish a market first. See if you got a market. Your neighborhood might be the market you need. You might know some people on Twitch. I don't know. You feel me? But figure out who got the money.
Yeah.
Right? And if you got the supply, then you connect the dot.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
if you want to, and as it pertains to legalizing your business and turning it into an LLC, of course you want to find ways to, funnel your money through. You know what I'm saying? But you got to get some money first. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's the most important part.
That's
is
the
getting
real
money.
thing, because it's like, if you start a business on your own and you got this independent mindset and you trying to figure out all this shit I need to do for my business, you just skipped over investors, you skipped over supply, you skipped over manufacturers, you skipped over so many people and opportunities to really help you get some money. You might only have 20% of that, but you'll be making more at 20% than you will have at 100% of your whole own business. So sometimes it's like, what role do I need to play? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then play that role very well.
Yeah.
And you're gonna have guys around you that's gonna be like, yo, make sure you trust this up. Make sure you throw this in a life insurance policy. Make sure you do this. Make sure you invest it here. Make sure you turn that into a bond. Make sure you get some real estate and hold that money.
And those are the people you gotta have around you, to be honest with you.
But you gotta be playing a role somewhere to get that.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. Yeah, because I know that I have certain people in my life who are way like more in tune with that type of stuff than I am, as far as like life insurance policies, building your own banks. Like, I mean, shout out to D-Lo. He's one of the other guys who runs this station with me.
Sure.
That's his job. He's like a financial, one of those I don't want to say an advisor, but he helps with, sell life insurance pretty much. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But that was their main goal, is to help somebody build their own bank system for themselves. And I think something like that is super important that a lot of people don't really know about either. It's like you can, like, these life insurance policies that they'll help you invest your money and shit like that, just different things that a lot of people really don't know of and aren't hip to. And it's sad, because these are things that can help you with, like, maintain financial stability, get your future to look a lot brighter than having to work till you're 80 years old, like shit like that. To me, I think it's super important to have those types of people in around, but like, in your life. But like he said, like, you gotta be kind of playing a certain role in certain positions to get around those type of people. You know what I mean? So for me, it was just
because it's
all
not
of
it's
this.
not on you. It's got to be in you. So I think that's what, I don't know, like, every business got to have a janitor. Every business got to have, especially like the business I'm talking about, got to have a janitor. You need somebody at admin. You need somebody to, receptionist. You need these players. So it's the same thing with like an economy. Like, everybody ain't meant to skip the 9 to 5. Like, what's wrong with hustling your 9 to 5? Like, what if you do need to work 60 years and play your role? You know what I'm saying? So again, you need to know your role. Like, my role might just be for my family and going to work and being this, superstar at work and getting paid every Friday or every other week. And that's the role I'm going to play. So my thing is always just figure out your role. And then I think it opens up for you, because then you're going to be your authentic self. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think it's more than just like your role. I think it's also just finding your purpose in life, like really what your purpose is all around. Because, like, I think everybody's born with different capabilities and skills that they're just kind of born with that not everybody can obtain. I think like specific skills. I think salesmen, if you're good and you're making good money selling, that's not an easy job, and it's not an easy task to like be a really good solid salesman and be able to sell thousands of dollars worth of products to people, especially like these fucking like low end companies like fucking Cutco and shit like that. Like I remember I tried doing that for a very short amount of time, didn't get nowhere with it.
Right.
That's just being a salesman on its own is it's one of those jobs that are just like. Anyway, but point being is, there's people who are born with certain capabilities, and there's like they have a purpose in life, and it's really just finding that purpose. It's really just kind of figuring out what it is that you're good at, and then roll with the punches on it. And not everybody is meant to be rich, not everybody's meant to be poor, but it's really just like you said, just kind of find your role, find where you fit, and then make the most of it. Don't make the least of it. It's just like working. Just like if you go to a job and you slack off and you don't really do much and you're a shitty worker, you're calling out all the time, chances are that's going to be your pretty much whole life when it comes to jobs. Like if you don't have a good work ethic and you're just lazy at work, you're going to be hopping from job to job. You're probably not going to keep a job long. You're not going to get like good references for a better job, like shit like that. But if you work hard and you put a lot of effort in, even if you hate your job, just do it with a smile. Like he was saying, give it 110%, 200% if you need to. Do the best you can possibly do and build yourself and be better. And if you don't want to be a working class person every single day of your life and you want to move on from that shit, then figure out how to build other skills. Like that's really what it is. I think it's important to build other skills,
Yeah.
What do you
It's
feel?
a real thing. I don't mean to cut you off, but it's
No,
a
you're
real
good.
thing. Like some individuals are gonna be, you gonna know if, you feel me, like you supposed to be somewhere being a leader and making shit shake. You gonna know that. Like you really ain't gonna have too much of a choice to navigate it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's not to say it's just a few people who could do it. It's a lot of people. But I feel like you gonna know. You know what I mean? And I think it ain't nothing wrong with a 9 to 5. Like I don't understand. Like get some money. You know what I'm saying? Go get paid. Have some level of productivity going on in your day. You know what I'm saying?
I don't.
And I don't mean to cut you off.
No, you good.
Say
You
you
good.
work for McDonald's or Wendy's or wherever, 7-Eleven. These are $1 billion industries. So even at the ground level, you just sweeping the floor. Like you could connect a lot of dots and make a lot of sense. So when you come out here and you run your business, you notice one thing, like you a boss. Where the boss at? You don't see him. He come in every other month. He check the numbers. He on the phone. You don't see him. But we get out here with our entrepreneurship and we the boss. But we around all the time. We ain't got no insurance for our employees. We ain't really delivering bags so you can go take care of your kids. You still gotta go to work and you work for me. So entrepreneurship is the art of an individual starting or creating a service or whatever product for a consumer. So you're building a business, you're building a brand. And once you take that title, I'm a boss. You know? So we sleep on business that show us how to navigate business. Right? Oh, it's only $10 an hour, $20 an hour. And then we come out here and we turn this shit into a hustle, another job. Just to be just like the business I hate. So you're gonna get the same result. You can't feed your employees, you can't feed the people who working around you. They can't call on you to get, bread or resources to take care of their life. You're not mitigating risk or problems that potentially could happen. You're not a boss. You ain't gotta be rich, but if you got resources, you know how to navigate this place, you're a boss. You know what I'm saying? So don't sleep on a 9 to 5. It'll show you really how to, you know what I'm saying?
How to work, how to get it for real.
And how to be a boss.
Yeah, for real.
And take the responsibility that come with it.
For real, for sure. Because I mean, you could be at the bottom of the food chain the whole time, and you could hate it. Because I feel like a lot of the times it's like I don't hate the job, I just hate my position in the job. Like a lot of the times, like working at Goodwill, for instance, I didn't hate working at Goodwill. I just wish that I had a better role in the company to do something bigger and be more productive, specifically in the marketing, because that's where I was trying to get into. It wasn't the job that I hated. And working a 9 to 5, there's nothing wrong with it, especially like for me, for instance. I recently, just a couple months ago, I picked up a side job just to kind of make some extra bread because the studio stuff kind of been a little bit slow. There's nothing wrong with that shit. And at first I felt, I want to say like a failure, I guess, for a second, because I was just like, damn, like I was making great money doing the studio shit, and then I just kind of slowed down with it, and I felt like, damn, maybe I'm failing at doing this, but that wasn't even the case. That it was more or less that I knew that I was kind of like overdoing one portion of the recording and all. Like I was kind of just overdoing sessions all the time, every day, all day. Like you get bored of it after a while, me personally, because you're doing the same thing over and over, and some of the people you enjoy, some of them you don't, you know.
Right.
And it's like, for me, it was more or less, I'm ready for something new. I'm ready for something different in my life. I'm ready for something new. I'm ready to have a new experience and work on something different that's not the same thing that I've been working on for this last few years. I've been doing the same thing over and over every day, nothing else. And I kind of got sick of it. But then I was just like, fuck this shit. I'm going to go ahead and get a little side job just to kind of get out and do something different. I got it. It's cool. But it's also making me want to strive even harder for what I'm doing with the music. And it's giving me the opportunity to be able to step into a different lane. So like I'm able to make the money from my job to be able to pay for the things that I have to pay for, while I slack in making the money from the studio sessions I was making, because I don't like to do sessions as much anymore. Like some people I really don't mind working with. This guy right here, I like to work with my boy. I like to work with him. Great guy, great to talk to, makes dope music that I enjoy recording. Other people, though, on the other hand, I don't like everybody as much. I'm being real. I don't like their music. Some of the people, I don't like their attitudes, or just whatever the case is. But, you know, to each his own when it comes to all that shit. And all respect to everybody, and I appreciate everybody.
I just feel like I don't think you failed, though. I think you chose to do whatever you had to do to,
for sure,
to maintain one, like the love for the game, and also, you know, maybe step back and figure out ways to navigate it and put it where it need to be.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to do something else to get this done. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. I think now I don't really look at it as a failure. I look at it as, like I said, an opportunity to be able to step back from something I was kind of sick of doing anyway, and giving me an opportunity to still make a steady income, but now kind of venture into the thing that I really want to do, which is syncing. You know, sync licensing and getting my music on television and movies. And I'm gonna be real, bro. After the first sync opportunity that I got, and I saw my music on television, national television, that was the best feeling I've ever had in my life, bro. I'm just being 100.
Did you cry?
I didn't. I was
close to it.
I'm gonna tell you the only reason why I didn't is because I knew it was gonna happen. It wasn't like I was surprised. Yeah. It was I knew it's gonna happen, so I'm not like totally emotional about it anymore as I was.
Did that motivate you? Like, I gotta keep going. I gotta go harder.
Fuck yeah, hell yeah. That motivated me to the fullest, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, it was one of those things where when I knew it was gonna happen, it was one thing. But when I actually saw it happen, and you know, I'm watching a wrestling show I watch all the time, for first of all, and secondly, when I see my work actually coming out, I'm just like, I did it. I can do it. This is possible.
Yeah.
Anything is really truly possible if you really put your mind to it and you really put the work behind it. Like, if you just think things are going to be handed to you, they're not. You know what I mean? Like, this particular opportunity I got because I worked with this artist. You know, I worked with him years ago. Like, when I first met him, did I think this was going to happen? I don't know. I mean, I knew he was moving and grooving, but I didn't know we were gonna get something like this. You know what I mean? But then when it did happen, now it's like a whole new level of confidence. You know what I mean? Like, it's the confidence booster times 1,000, because it's like, it's possible.
I know I'm that. I'm really that.
You know what I mean? Yeah, it's possible. Yeah. And now it's one of those, like, I don't want to be cocky about it, but at the same time, it's like, how many people can you say had that type of opportunity?
I think it's crazy that you say I don't want to be cocky about it, and then go ahead and be cocky.
And be cocky about it. Yeah, fuck
crazy.
it.
Yeah, it's fire though, but that's the truth though. You know what I'm saying? You work for something, and you achieved it. You feel me?
Yeah.
Yeah, pop your shit.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like the hugest thing in the world to everybody, but to me, but to me,
it's cool. You good? You got it.
Shit, I'm gonna tell you that. Yeah. I mean, I'm a wrestling fan. You know what I mean? So for it to be in a specific genre that I grew up loving and still love to this day, that made it all the more special. Yeah. You know what I mean? And for it to be given to two young up and coming wrestlers who are still young, not really known that well, that's going to be an even more special feeling in the next few years, when I know that they're going to be way higher in the ranks when it comes to that shit. it's gonna feel even more special knowing that I did something like that for those, for that type of cause. So
Yeah, I never really got into wrestling. I think wrestling was one of them things.
it's not for everybody, man. For me, it's just a grown man soap opera, bro. I'm just being real with you. To me, it's just one of those things that I just have a lot of respect for these guys for what they do.
Yeah.
It's fake, if you want to call it that. It's predetermined stories. Whoever's involved in the matches, they know what's gonna happen by the end of it. But it's the fact that they, like, the shit that they do to each other. Like, I don't know if you've watched anything recent, but I was just talking about this, but there was a pay-per-view not too long ago from AEW. Dude had fucking, those kebab sticks that you can put, kebabs on.
Like the food?
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
Shit.
Like those wooden kebab sticks.
Yeah.
Had a whole fucking handful of them shoved into his head.
I think I seen that.
And then was just freaking just hanging there.
Yeah.
So real or fake, bro, I don't care. Like, you're not going to sit there and tell me that shit didn't hurt to do. You know what I mean? Like, so the shit that they put themselves through for the sake of entertaining people, that's why I love it so much. Because they do some off-the-wall shit just to entertain people. And that's why I love it.
It's kind of like if somebody got their favorite TV show, like,
yeah,
this my, I'm into this.
Yeah.
So I think it's the same thing. You know what I'm saying?
That's all it is.
Yeah.
It's just like people who are super into Star Wars or people who are super into Marvel or, if you have that diehard fan base, people are just super into it. It's just what I'm into, man. You know what I mean? And
Right.
So, like I said, just to be able to be a part of that in some way, shape, or form and have my music be a part of that world, that's a dream come true. That's
We outside, baby.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Good job, man. Congratulations.
I appreciate that.
You
man.
deserve it, man. You deserve it. I
You
think
know?
I texted you that and told you that.
You did. You actually
you
did
deserve
that
it.
same night. You said you
I
saw it.
was
You
in
were
the
at the gym.
I was in the gym and it was on TV.
Yeah.
Shit was crazy.
And so that's what I mean. And it's, I got a bunch of those texts that night of people who are just like
People were
never.
in the gym?
No, not in the gym, but they were like, yo, I just saw your music, or I heard AyeMontie on the track on TV or whatever. Like, I
That's
didn't even
crazy.
know y'all watch wrestling, but that's cool. You know what I mean?
No, she was on, like,
Yeah,
in the gym.
so
It's crazy.
It's just shit like that, it just, yeah, fuck yeah. That was a real big confidence booster for me, and I'm still going to keep letting that be a confidence booster for me because,
Nah.
you know?
Right, you got the right to do that.
For sure. It's just, how many people can you say have, or a wrestler's theme music or entrance music that they're coming out to every week, So, fuck yeah.
That like, I know this person.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm like, especially around VA. I know that there's people who's gotten placements doing shit with, other artists and shit, but for me, this is great because, again, I'm just a huge wrestling fan. So that's why it's so big for me,
Sure.
But shit, man. So let's talk about it. Let me, hold on. I had a specific question. I just wanted to read it. All right, so when it comes to, like, doing business, what are, like, some, like, immediate, like, precautions you'll take when going into doing any type of business with anybody? Like, what are some things that are kind of just like that you've just kind of built through time of, like, precautions that you take when dealing with newer people when doing business?
I don't know. I look at like, I don't look at anything that's related to the business. You feel me? I look at, like, small things like respect and, like, you feel me, eye contact. It's just so many, like, it's like a body language. That's one of the first things I pick up on. Like, all right, you move a certain way. You know what I'm saying? You got a certain, your attitude about certain things. Like, are you coming in with solutions or problems, right? So I gauge it off of that, and then after I gauge, that I'm like, all right, what can do? I got a resource that I feel like I want to apply to this, that I can make some shape. And if it is, then I don't really trip too much on it. You know what I'm saying? And then when you deal with so many people, you start to learn, like, it's just you really align with certain individuals already. You know what I'm saying? So you might catch me coming out the gym, or you might catch me. I move a certain way. So even to kind of find me, I have to find you in a place of work. You know what I mean? And the building to let me know, like, what type of, individual you are. And then for the most part, I just do my own thing. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm a leader, I build. I'm over here building.
So, like, if somebody, like, hits you in the DM is like, I see that you on your shit, this, that, and the other thing, could we do some business together or whatever? How are you going to respond to something like that?
Yeah, we can see about it. That's it.
Because I know for me personally, it's more or less like if somebody hits my DM, a lot of times I don't shut it out, but it's like I gotta kind of, I'm better at meeting people in the place of business. You know what I mean? Like if I'm at an event or something and an artist comes up to me, so when I was DJing a lot, you know, if artists come up to me, however they come up to me is how I'm going to start like conducting business with them in the future. So for instance, Ruler Roan, he's going to be on the show next week. When he came up to me, bro was on the most humblest of shit. Like he didn't ask for nothing from me. He just came up, genuinely wanted to talk to me, just, you know, get to know me a little bit. Tell me about himself, that type of shit. And then from that point on, we built a really good, solid business relationship where he comes to me for beats. He comes to me for mixing, mastering, videos, for everything now. And we built that just because I was able to meet him at a place where we were doing business at that time. You know what I mean?
Environment definitely plays a part. You know
for sure. But when
you got to have a filter system too, like, you know, like if I'm focused doing what I got to do and I'm just trying to play my role, like, there's probably a role I got over here to where I can send you over there, and if it clear there, then I don't really have to consider what was what. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But sometimes you can gauge it off on face value, and then sometimes you gotta send it through the filter system, and if it make it through the filter system and everything check out, we good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. For me, it's
But you in a business of service, right? So it's like your door got to be open for certain things. You know what I'm saying? That the average person don't have to deal with. You got to deal with people on a day-to-day basis. So you probably gonna end up finding out, you know what I'm saying, when you work with them, because they're gonna pay. People pay. If your price ain't, sometimes the prices say a lot too. Like if I set my price to a place where a lot of people ain't gonna be playing around coming to pay that price.
Exactly. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So it's like all that play a role.
Yeah, I definitely learned that through time. Like the higher my prices went, like the higher quality of people I was starting to get, because like a lot of the lower quality sessions, they would want that $40 an hour or whatever. They were trying to find the by the songs. Like I was doing by the song forever ago. I was doing 60 per song, and I was doing 80 per song, and people would come in and try to do just the most when it came to that type of thing. So I was just like, nah, I'm done doing that. I'm doing by the hour now. But it was more or less the people who were coming in for the cheaper prices are a lot of the people who I really just weren't vibing with as much. I'm not going to say all of them, but for the most part, for the people who I wanted to be around, it just wasn't who I wanted as my clientele. I wanted more, I'm just being real. Like I wanted more people who were just more intellectual, like who had a little bit more sense, who weren't just rah-rah, you know, all the time, and made different types of music and wasn't just trying to gangbang all the time and just...
Well, in the space you in a space where you can create clientele, and I think that's one of the things that a lot of producers, I know why though, but it's like you say you're a producer, but you really just sound design and press buttons and shit.
Big
like
facts.
A producer's gonna make clientele. He's gonna make things happen. You know what I mean? He's not gonna wait till somebody call his phone. So I think you gotta really be a producer. You know what I'm saying? Because I remember a long time ago, some time ago, I'm gonna go holler at who I want to work with. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I might even sacrifice the money because I'm knowing like I'm gonna build a product. It's gonna be a staple. Like I'm working with dude. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do this with dude because we got that same vibe. And if he on what I'm on, talking about some petty $400, $500, that's not. What are we talking about? We talking about a little bit of money.
Yeah, because it's the relationship that's super important. Because like sometimes like when the relationship and the work can both speak very well, like if the work is the quality you need, and then you're able to build that relationship with somebody, and when you're able to build that relationship with somebody, I feel like the work just all around comes out better. Like the product comes out better. Your relationship builds stronger, and you're able to look out for each other at that point. You know what I mean? Like, cause that's one thing that I notice is I definitely do have some clients where I'm just not as close with them. You know, I don't talk to them as much. I don't, you know, they just kind of come and they do the recording. It's just because with me personally, I don't connect with everybody the same.
That's a problem though.
You know?
Like, so it's like, I'm an entrepreneur. I came out here to do what I want to do. You know what I mean? So I would do something for free, and it'd be what I wanted to do, or I'm gonna go make things happen that I can attach myself to a bigger bag. You know what I'm saying? So I think a lot of times, this is how I feel like it is for underground artists or artists coming up in that relationship with a producer. One, you got this dude who ain't got too much money, clearly. You know what I'm saying? I'm coming up, bro. You feel me? So
Yeah.
I'm coming to you. Yeah, I might only get paid $40 an hour, but I got potential. So now you in a place to where I gotta gauge your potential. I got bills too. You know what I'm saying? I got people to pay too, and I don't know you, little dude, little killer. You feel me? Young killer. I don't know you. He like I don't know you too. So then boom, it's that. Now, just by the stats, you already knowing he might flop. But by the stats too, producers flop.
Yeah.
So if you say you that, you need to go find talent that is that, and you need to get behind it. You need to find artists. You feel me? Find an artist that's got motion. Yeah, he might not be the $40 an hour dude, but he might be paying that $100 an hour. You need to find artists with motion that you can connect with, that you can respect, and make something happen. Go do a project. Holler at them, yo. Let me get some hooks. Let me pay you for some hooks so we can sync them. You know what I mean? You gotta make business happen. That's why I always go back to your role. Like you gotta know your role and you gotta play it very well. I got the studio, I got the cameras, I can shoot your whole shit. This is what I'm gonna need from that. And we gonna shop it here. That's what a producer do. I'm gonna record you, video you, and I'm gonna shop you here. This is what I'm doing. I'm taking 80%, taking 30%. Now the more money you put up towards this, the less I'm gonna take. But now we got an agreement and we go get some money. We go really build equity, in our projects instead of just turning it into a convenience store of rappers and
Right.
And
Yeah.
then we complain like, man, we ain't getting no real money. Like, what dudes say, I gotta go supplement my income with Bitcoin and shit. Like, you got a whole skill, a whole bag. This is $1 billion industry, all the way up from the broke industry. I mean, the broke underground to the top of it. It's money being made. You gotta make shit happen. You can't, you know what I'm saying? Just like you telling this artist, go get some money and then come holler at me. Bro, you gotta go get some stats too. You feel me? I
Yeah.
don't see no Grammys. You're
Yeah.
a producer. I don't see no #1 on the billboard. So
Yeah.
you talking to me, no disrespect, you talking to me like
Yeah.
I'm just some old flunky. Now a dude like me, you talk to me like that, I'm gonna go buy all your equipment. You feel me? You talk to me like that, I spend the next 3 years and I'll go buy all that on my own. Cause that's just me. That's my pride. That has nothing to do if I was talented enough.
Yeah.
I just got a certain level of pride. You're not gonna talk to me like that, brother.
Right.
You feel me? I go buy all that and do everything you doing.
Right.
Just so we can have a different conversation. So that's one of the roles I took, but everybody's not gonna be that way. So you gotta be able to scout talent and you gotta be able to say no to people and make
Yeah.
it to where who you work with is who you like.
Yeah, I
know
think
what I'm saying?
the one thing that you said that was really important is the stat part. It's especially if you're trying to find people who have motion, you kind of have to have motion yourself. Like, let's be honest. Like, you can't really just go up to somebody who's doing a whole lot and you're doing nothing and expect them to want to work with you. I think you do have to have some type of motion for yourself, and that doesn't necessarily mean you have to be super popular. It just means that you have to have some type of credential that you've done something productive that's not a fucking waste of time. Like, and I think that's really important because, I mean, let's be real, because if I go up to like fucking Eminem or Logic or somebody and I'm just like, yo, let's work, like, what can I really offer them? You know what I mean? I have small credentials that aren't huge like they have, but if I go and find somebody, I'm going to use Gifted Hands, for instance, because he's kind of popping, he's got motion going on, and I hit him up. I feel as if I have enough value to bring to somebody on that level to where we could do something that could be very productive and beneficial to both of us. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think that does play a big part, like your stats, like what have you done? What are you capable of doing? And do you have the proof that you're capable of doing that? Because, I mean, if somebody has motion, that means they don't want people wasting their time. They don't want people around them who are going to waste their time. So, if you don't really have shit going on for yourself, you got to make that motion. You got to make that. You have to find people who are on the come up and kind of pay your dues, like they say. You got to kind of pay your dues. I think that's super important in this business, is paying those dues. Whether it's just working for hours and hours on hundreds of artists or going and really wiggling your way into some serious opportunities slowly and surely. Whatever the case is, whichever way. I think it's super important, man, to just make sure that you kind of
like just create projects, man. Create real projects. Create moments. You know what I'm saying? And I think the combination of these moments add up to something eventually.
For
they
sure.
add up to a better body of work than you not creating moments, high quality moments. Even if it's like a delayed gratification on the moments, you got to create them because that's gonna be what the proof is. Sometimes the proof ain't gonna necessarily look like motion, because you could move in a circle and have motion. You know what I'm saying? So
That's a big fact.
if I take a jump from here 100 feet, I got motion. But it might take me 8 months to build up to jump 100 feet. You know what I'm saying?
For
That's
sure.
still motion. Motion is relative. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. We got to be very specific with the shit we say and how we say it to ourselves, not to the world, but to ourselves. But as long as you know, like building those projects and really making things happen, like in that regard, like you taking control of what you can control.
Yeah.
That's how you really you get something done. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. I think for me as a producer, I think that's a really important thing that I've kind of overlooked. Because like we were talking about earlier, it's like I wanted to get to the bag and focus solely on that, and it wasn't the bag. As much as I feel like I've told myself I want that back end money, it's really the front end money I've been striving for. And I think that's what's kind of set me back personally, is that I probably have been around some really good people who would have been a valuable asset to a team that I kind of just overlooked or just kind of shut out simply because they couldn't maybe afford the prices, or I just didn't give them the shot they probably rightfully deserved. And I think that happens a lot. And a lot of times it sucks, but at the same time, I'm so, because of all the things that I've been through in the past 10 years of doing music, I don't want any more leeches on me. I'm just being real, and I think that's been one of the biggest things that's kind of built that wall for me, is the fact that I've had a lot of leeches around me, and they just kind of wait for me to do everything, and they swear that they're going to do this, that, and the other, and they don't, and I end up getting stuck doing everything. I'm so scared of that continuing to happen because of how my work ethic is and how I want to work and how fast I want things done. Like, for instance, I wanted these new cameras. I was tired of waiting for them. Figured out how to get money so I could get them. Got it. You know what I mean? And it's like, that's the type of energy that I want around me. I know not everybody, like, when something's your baby, you treat it a lot differently than if it's kind of somebody else's. You know what I mean? So like all of this, the studio stuff, the podcast station, all this shit, this is my baby. And so I'm willing to put everything that I have into it to make it the best that I possibly can. I can't expect everybody else to do the same though. And I think that's the one thing that I kind of over expect from myself, is that I expect everybody to put the same effort as me when it's mine, when I look at it as my baby. And even though I do this with multiple other people, this is all of our spot, but it's like my podcast personally, it's my baby. Like, I built it almost 2 years ago, and at this point, it's the most important thing to me. Fuck the music. I can care less about the music. The podcast is what I think about every day when I wake up. How can I make it better? What can I do to improve it? You know, how can I market it better? How can I do this? How can I do that? It's my baby, you know? So I've had to learn for myself that I can't expect everybody to.
Is that why you spend countless hours on this podcast screaming and shit?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You be like,
yeah, man. I mean, as y'all have seen last week, I kind of snapped. That was just a lot of weeks built up to that. But yeah, I snapped last week, bro.
Yeah, you definitely wear that shit on your shoulder, my boy.
It's because I take this shit so seriously, man, and it's like, and it's one of those things that I want to succeed more than anything, because I enjoy doing this more than anything else, bro.
But it will though, man. It will succeed. You
for
feel
sure.
I think that's when that level kick in, when you like, you know what I'm saying? You already knowing like it's gonna succeed.
Yeah, I think it's really just been, at this point, it's really just been making sure that I could do what I have to do to improve it, to make the quality better, especially for like the clips and stuff that I make, because I know the clips are the most important part as far as like marketing it. That's what I've been striving the most for, is making sure that I can improve the quality in any way possible, whether it's getting the multiple cameras, getting the soundboard so we can start adding sounds to make the show a little more entertaining. Just like last week, when I snapped after I was done, I did a little toilet bowl flush, and it made it a funnier situation, you know, kind of comic relief type of thing. And then just like the production shit, just getting everything that I can to make the show better.
So I got a question, man, like, for the podcast. Like, do you want the podcast to be a place where you are hosting it and a part of the panel, or, you know, what is more important, the engineering aspect, doing all the behind the scenes work? Because I think that could add a lot of stress too, because it's like if I'm just hosting, I just gotta show up. Maybe I do to have some understanding on what's going on, but I need to be able to show up and be this host. You know what I mean?
To be honest, bro, I enjoy it all, bro. I love being the host of the show. I love interviewing people. I like to talk and especially like things like what we're doing right here. I've learned that the one-on-one interviews I'm enjoying a hell of a lot more than the group sessions. I enjoy the group sessions because they can be fun, especially when we have the comments going and the shit, you know. It can get fun for sure. But to me, I do the podcast mostly for therapy, for my own selfish reasons, as far as like I like to talk about my shit. I like to talk about my personal problems. I like to get deep. I like to really kind of express what I got going on because it helps me. And to be able to have real conversations live on air, to me, it's cool. Like I enjoy doing it because when I go and edit these clips and I get to look back and I get to watch what we talked about, a lot of the times shit doesn't hit me until I'm watching it back. Like I've had some real conversations on this podcast to where it's like after I didn't really think about it during the show, but like after when I'm watching it back like I'm the audience, you know, and I'm like really relating to what's being said now, and that's what's really kind of helped me, I guess, kind of grow a lot. I feel like the podcast has helped me grow a lot for the most part. I do snap sometimes, and sometimes I do want to try to do things that I know would just get clicks and stuff like that. Like, I feel like I snapped last week simply because I knew if I overreacted, it would get more attention, in which I was right. But it's like, is that the attention that I want? Not really.
Oh. I would assume that's the attention that you need.
I don't want to say that that's the attention that I need.
You know, I told you, man, I say this all the time, man. Play your role and you play it very well. You know what I'm saying? So you got to know your role. Sometimes, I mean, who going to take it up? Who going to turn it up as high as you, knowing what's going to come from it?
Yeah,
sometimes
I mean,
you got to take that, you know what I'm saying, that role.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I love being high energy when it comes to the show. I don't mind getting a little loud, a little aggressive, a little assertive, whatever. Like, I really don't mind. It's just more or less I don't like getting to where I was last week. Where I was last week, it was embarrassing in a way because it's like, first things first, I look at this show like my baby, so I feel as if I have to be in control of it. You know what I mean? Like if I'm not in control and I'm kind of just letting everything kind of just walk over me, then that's going to happen. But if I take control the way I try to take control, then it's a whole different story. And it gets a lot easier for me to do it and a lot more enjoyable opposed to just kind of coming and then letting everybody else just kind of run the show that I created for me. I did this for my own selfish reasons. I'm being real, bro.
The first time I copy, I understand.
You know what I mean? Like I really do this for my own selfish reasons, but I also enjoy talking to people about like different people about just life. Like, you know what I mean? And the shit that we be talking about on the show too, a lot of it is just like it's whatever to me. At this point, I like to talk about shit like what we're talking about right now.
Yeah.
Because this is what helps me. When we're talking about stuff that relates to us, not really that's just generalized about everybody else, just stuff that really relates to us. This is what I do it for. You know what I mean? And so I know for me personally, when it comes to the show, these are the type of things I'm doing more. Like, I know I got my paid interviews that I do with people. You know, you can come in, you can pay, and you can get your own interview done. You can keep your footage. You can do all that. All the questions will be solely based around you. I won't be talking that much. You will be. But then there's this.
Interviews, though.
Yeah, but then there's this.
That's what I was thinking, too, man. Like, I watch podcasts, too, sometimes, bro. And I really be thinking, like, that whole... You come in, I ask you these, where you from? When did you get into music? Or when did you get into whatever the fuck you do? Or like what's the other question they ask? Like, what's your favorite food? And just
cliche weird ass questions. Just
so you telling me you built a whole business. You bought all this equipment, you rented whatever spot you in, just to come in here and sit there and ask goofy ass questions.
Basic questions. It'd be
and I'm
the
gonna
super
be real.
basic.
It's been years since I cared about where you from. I mean, sometimes it's cool to know where somebody's from, but like what you eat when you get into music when you was a kid, I can answer the questions for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, you got a place where you can really get creative. And what you telling me you gonna do is you gonna recycle these, and then you wonder why interesting people don't want to do interviews. Cause you not listen.
It's the same bland ass bullshit.
100%. You got a high bar that's been set.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You got the Rogans, you got the Buttons, you got all these guys, man, that I would feel like they God tier. So it's like you can't come in and do that. You know what I'm saying? It's a great platform because it's long form. It's you can do a lot. You can talk about everything, do whatever, right? So you got to make
Really
it make
get to
sense.
know somebody for real.
Make it make sense.
Yeah.
Make it make sense. Make it entertaining. Make it make sense. Have fun, but bring some quality. Know your role. You know what I'm saying? I got 6 people on my panel. I need everybody to know their role and play it very well every day, day in. That's why. That's when the bag come. That's when the sponsorships come. That's when the deals come. When you making an impact. You know what I mean? And it start behind this table when you play your role. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I think for real, personally, it's the whole yelling on top of each other and always talking over each other, and it gets sloppy. When the shit gets sloppy, I don't enjoy it as much. Like, and I mean, my cast knows that for sure. I've said that to them multiple times. I'm so tired of this show just getting sloppy and going all over the place. You know what I mean? Because to me, that's not good content. Like the content that I've been posting, it's not good content to me. A lot of it, I'm just like, oh, this might get some clicks because we were getting super energetic and people like they gravitate towards seeing that idiocracy. So it's like sometimes like it's whatever. But to me, I want to make a difference in my own life, and I want to be able to make an impact in somebody else's from this, you know what I mean? Like the podcasts that are always going viral and shit all the time, and it's helping change people's lives and shit like that. I want to be able to do that for somebody. I want to be able to help change somebody's life or give them that one moment that just
catapult their career, or
whether it's that or whether it's just something that really helped millions of people relate to somebody. You know what I mean? Like, and I feel like we're all human and we all go through shit. We all go through our own problems. We all go through heartbreak. We all go through rough times. We all go through shit, And so when you have just regular people that aren't nationally well known, like, and you're able to kind of relate to them when they're going through similar.
Why did you have to throw in there how they not nationally known?
I say it like this because a lot of people aren't trusting a lot of celebrities anymore. You know what I mean? Like when celebrities talk, a lot of people are just looking at them like, it's probably just a facade. A lot of people don't trust celebrities anymore. So it's like when you just have regular people like myself,
yeah,
and you're able to kind of relate to they're going through something that's similar to what you're going through. To me, that's a good connection. I'd rather make that connection.
What happens when you become that celebrity?
If I became that celebrity by relating to people on a more intimate level, as far as like, I really connected with them somehow, some way, shape, or form, and now I just have millions of people who really just love me because they're able to feel like they can connect to me and they're not alone in whatever it is they're going through, I'm okay with that. I mean, because I'm talking about like a Hollywood celebrity though. I'm talking about
just
like
be a different version of celebrity.
I would, yeah. I mean, I'm looking at like some of this people that I watch who I wouldn't say they're big celebrities, they're internet stars or whatever the case is, but they're like, they're not getting fucking Hollywood movie roles all the time and shit like that. Like they're mostly streamers or whatever it is they do. They just kind of stick to that and they're famous in that.
That bag look cool though. That bag.
Oh yeah, that streamer bag is crazy, bro.
That's
I ain't
a
even
chill bag.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like a bag for sure.
In the house with just a shirt on, ass out, get a bag.
For sure. People who donate all that good stuff.
You would ass out too?
I wouldn't go ass out probably, but
okay. All right. I didn't know that.
No, I mean, personally though,
you didn't specify if you would or would not. So I thought we was on the same. You feel me? But we're not.
Well, I mean, I'm not. I mean, me personally, I don't want to be like one of those fucking full-time streamers who are streaming fucking 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. I don't personally want to do that because.
What do you want to do, man?
Like be able to do my podcast a couple times a week, put the content out, and keep it going.
Get this money, baby.
You know what I mean? Like, if I can get some sponsors and shit like that.
One thing I did recognize is, okay, if. So you want to get money, though.
For sure. I always want to get. Always, yeah.
All right, I'm cool with that. I like that. I think it's a whole, like a well-rounded, you know what I mean, like idea.
Yeah, I mean, all around, like when it comes to the music shit, videos, engineering, producing, all that shit, I'm down for whatever. I'm always down to do the work, whether if I want to or not, or whether I like to do it. I mean, I always like to do it. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, no matter what it is I'm doing, if I didn't enjoy doing it, I just wouldn't do it. But like, yeah, bro, I like doing the podcast, bro. I just like doing it. I just like doing anything that has to do with entertainment. A lot of it behind the scenes, but like, just the way, I like doing the pod. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I could see that. Like, it's really.
I do.
It's
Like I said, because this is my therapy. Like, people go to therapists and all that shit, and they talk about their problems with them. Me personally, I'll come on this shit and talk about my problems and get other people's perspectives. They're not licensed therapists, but fuck them. I don't need a licensed therapist, in my opinion. I can talk to people who I fuck with, who I trust, and we can have good conversations, and I can get different outlooks and different opinions on different things that I got going on. You know what I mean?
I always wondered, like, what drives people to do like podcasts. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never seen nothing wrong with it. It's definitely entertaining, but it's like, what about it? Like, what, because it's so, you can do so much with a podcast. Like, you don't have to have a specific niche or nothing. You can just do you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like I said, I think it's just one of those things that you love to do. It's like, it's just like a talk show, like Jimmy Fallon or some shit. You know what I mean? If you think about it, like, because on those shows, they're interview shows for the most part. They're live audiences, yeah, but it's like you're able to just kind of connect with somebody on a different level and perspective than you see when they're doing their art. So like an actor or an artist, when they're actually like performing their art, you're not able to really connect with them, who they are. So when it comes to podcasts, especially because talk shows, they're on for an hour, they're on a time limit. There's only certain things they can and can't talk about. The network's most likely writing the questions for you. When it comes to a podcast, like Joe Rogan, for instance, they'll talk about anything. These motherfuckers will talk about anything, no fucks given. They'll go from talking about weed to talking about politics to talking about whatever the fuck. And that's what I think makes podcasts a lot more intriguing to me, because I've learned a hell of a lot more about a lot of people that I enjoy watching or listening to their music, or actors, or whatever the case is. I've learned a hell of a lot more than watching Jimmy Fallon or watching The Tonight Show or whatever the case is. I just think it's more personalized.
Nah, they do hit though. They do hit. That's 100%. But I had a question for you earlier.
Go ahead.
Have you ever gauged your life? You know what I'm saying? Just based on the amount of money you spent, like within a 12-month period. Boom, this is the amount of money I know. This is what I've achieved this year. You know what I'm saying? And do you look at it like negative or positive? Do you look at it like, damn, I just blew all this money, or you know what I'm saying?
So for me, it's I've had like a 50-50 on my money, financial problems that I have here. I wouldn't say problems, but the financial struggles that I go through, because like for instance, I want to save for like a car or some shit, right? But it's like I also want to save for all of this equipment for the studio. But it's because I want too much at one time, and I feel like that's where a lot of my struggles come, is that I want too much. When it comes to just thinking about how much I've spent in a year, I try not to think about it too much. I just know that I do calculate, of course, what I'm spending. And I do look at it like, damn, if I was able to spend a lot more this year than I did last year, then I knew I made a lot more this year than I did last year. So that's, I guess, like a positive thing for me, because you know what I mean?
That if you make more, then you just spend more.
So kind of in a way. So like if I'm making more, then I'm more like willing to buy equipment and shit, like upgrade equipment or get the new equipment, shit like that. Like when I'm making that money, opposed to like when I am not making that money, that I know I could just quickly pay something off, or like easily pay something off, because I know, I've been making the money. I've been making this much per week for this amount of time. So I know, I could spend $4,000 right here, because I know I can have it paid off in 4 months or whatever the case is. You know what I mean? Which isn't always what happens, to be honest with you. Sometimes I'll be like, oh yeah, I could definitely do this, and then the business just ain't there. So that sometimes sucks, but I always figure out a way. So, but do I look at my entire like life around money? I just don't care about money, bro. If I'm rich or not, I feel like everybody in life is just focused so hard on money and how much they make, and everybody just kind of looks at everybody's value based on what they have in their bank accounts and all that. And I think just people have a lot more to offer than what's in their bank account, and a lot of people don't want to accept that and look at that, However, I know making money and having money is super important. Bills to pay. I like to travel. I like to do things. You need money to do all that. But that's just, yeah, I guess that's just me with it, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm gonna be a cool person with a good heart and all that other cool shit, but I'm gonna give me some money. I don't understand. I don't know. Like it ain't. I feel like it's just a balance. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with whatever you want have a decent character or be looked at for a real person. That's cool, but at the end of the day, it's like, um, just do the work. You know what I'm saying? Do the work that it take, and success will come from that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, whatever a certain amount may be subjective or whatever, but still, if you're doing the work, you want some money. If you for business you open for profit, you want some money. You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of times if you don't know if it's gonna ever really fully pan out, you do grab on to just the purpose of shit. Like man, I love it. That's always cool. But in addition to loving it, you can navigate this thing. You can grow within yourself. You can discipline yourself to do the proper business as well, right? So
Hmm.
all that shit go hand in hand. Making the money, having a passion and love for it. That's cool. Just it's about operations then. You know what I'm saying? And how you move.
Yeah, for sure. Especially like if you love something that much, then that means you're probably good at it for the most part. Like when it comes to a craft or an art.
Yeah, the money will come for sure. Like, you
Yeah,
just
like
think,
if you're that good at it, like if you're that good of a rapper, eventually the money will come. You just got to work to get to that point. You know what I mean? For sure. Yeah, no, I definitely agree with what you're saying.
1,000%, man, 1,000%.
I just it's man, it's just like sometimes it'd be a struggle, bro. Like I think everything in life is sometimes a struggle, but it's really just kind of how you look at it. It's kind of how you look at like your whole situations in life, bro. Me personally, I feel like staying mentally strong has been kind of an important thing to me. Cause doing especially the music shit, it takes a lot of energy, bro. It takes a lot of like strength mentally, patience. Um, have you ever felt yourself kind of getting impatient with where you're at in life? Maybe not even
Yeah,
just
man.
music, but
So I grew up in the hood. You feel me?
feel it.
Like that's a normal like for not a normal, but it's common. You feel me? Like rite of passage, and I always felt the way. But I think you said this on one of the other podcasts, but it's like I do believe it is what it is though. You know what I'm saying? I do because I feel like when you fully adapt to what it is, you be realistic with your situation. Then I feel like that's where the magic come from. You know, it's a certain level of delusion you gotta have trying to get out. But when you in it, you need to be very much so realistic. This where I'm from. This what's going on, and I'm not shying away from that. You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because if you do, you might miss your exit out of it. You know what I mean? And it's cool because even if you don't play the streets or whatever, you play the school vibes. If you understand where you at and they recognize you, you'll get a pass to go be whatever you want. But that you gotta be realistic with where you come from. And
Yeah.
I think initially like seeing my people have whatever little struggles they had going on. That's why at 8 years old, 9 years old, I wanted to go make some money. You know what I'm saying? Not because I wanted some money, it's just I was tired of I ain't like seeing this.
Yeah.
We could do more. You know what I mean? So it
Yeah.
wasn't like, oh, so and so got the X, Y, and Z with the dubs on it. I'm making some money so I can drop a couple of dollars at the crib. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I spent a large period of my life, if not in that same environment, in a same mental space, almost struggle mentality. You know what I'm saying? And until I was just real with the circumstances and why you adapt to that circumstance. I really didn't see me going any further. So now that I'm a little bit older and I got a little bit more experience, that's why whatever situation I'm in, bills due, money come, I gotta pay this. That's where I'm at.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
That's where I'm at.
Absolutely.
I never go to the, oh man, but I'm just trying to take care of my family. Like that's cool or whatever. But at the end of the day, like I gotta pay these people. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
It's a person that look at me based on my character and say like, man, I could depend on him. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So all that is good. All that is a good, you know what I'm saying, basis. So initially I had that struggle like, man, this is the mindset I'm in. You feel me? And so once I kind of use the same mentality. Like I'm adapt to it. I become one with the process before I decide to play number 2. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's just where mentally I went. So if I get to walk outside and my neighbors is, you know what I'm saying, like, accountants for the governor or whatever it may be, that's because like I adapted my way to those situations. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never changed or want to be better than nobody. I ain't care about none of that. I seen my 1+1s to make my 2s, and I followed that route. You know what I'm saying? And I had my own mind. I was my own individual thinker. You know what I'm saying? And that's where you get to a place where you could be like, yeah, man,
Yeah, and I think that's really important.
realistic.
I think that's important to like if you see other people doing something, like, you don't have to mimic it in order to be successful. Like, find your own path, find your own way, find what works for you. You know what I mean? Like, because I feel like, for me, I feel like I started looking at other people's like their accomplishments and shit like that, things that other people were doing, and starting to compare myself. Like, damn, man, why is it that this person's doing this and I'm not, and stuff like that, and started making just all these assumptions about myself, and that shit'll fuck you up. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, like, that shit'll fuck you up all the way, and you gotta get out of that mindset of like, damn, well, they're doing this and this and that, and I'm not doing it. You're not doing it simply because you're not putting in the effort.
This ain't no shade to you, but I always consider that to be not for maybe you, but for me. That's a hater. So, like, if my dog got motion, he got X, Y, Z, one, he ain't my dog if he don't decide to try to put me in a position. So, that's a part 2. But still, even if he don't, I'm never going to hate on him. I ain't never had a hating spirit. I never wondered why this flunky is riding around with a nice car and this nice little dame. I'm not tripping on that.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's not me hating. It's more or less like, I look at the accomplishment. No, I know. I'm saying like, for me, it's more or less like I'll see accomplishments and I'll be like, damn, I need to do better for myself. Like, I'm not sitting there like, oh, you don't deserve that. Like, fuck that. Like, why are you getting that accomplishment? I'm looking at it as, damn, I see you're doing this and that. I need to be on my shit so I could be, making myself proud. Like, I need to be looking at the posts that I'm making, because like when I posted about the national television shit, I was looking at the shit that I was proud of it. Like, I'm super proud of myself for finally accomplishing something that I've always wanted to do. You know what I mean? So I think for myself, it's like looking at what other people have accomplished and use it as motivation to like work harder, because it's like, I don't hate anybody for, doing shit that I want to do. It's more or less like, damn, now I want to get there too. So let's work harder at it. You know what I mean?
That's a cool thing, because it's like, even if I had like guys coming up under me or with me, I feel like they used to always tell me like, bro, I see you doing certain things, I'm trying to do that.
Yeah.
But it's like, you're not playing your role under this infrastructure. You know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? So it's like, I never had that mindset. Like, again, like, if I see somebody doing something that I feel like is fire, that's cool. I respect that. Like, I'm only asking myself really one question: how do I play a role in that to make it better? You know what I'm saying? I don't care if I gotta be number 2 or 3. Yeah. It's cool with me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not inspired by that. I'm inspired by, like, again, like, playing my role.
Yeah, and
you know what I mean?
It's okay to like take the back seat sometimes to a situation that could help you advance your own life. Like, if just like he was saying, like, it's okay to play 2 or 3 sometimes. You don't always have to be the number 1 main face of any situation. It's more or less like, learn your role of where you could benefit a situation.
Yeah, and play it.
Play the situation out. Yeah, play the situation out, and then
it'd be weird.
You might be able to grow from it.
Sometimes, like, I'd have been fucked up. I done been really fucked up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Down bad. Like,
yeah,
out of pocket bad, and I played my role, and I feel like it even shock a person. Like, damn, like, how you do that? Because I use all my mental power, and I wasn't thinking about, like, what you got going on.
Right.
I was just thinking, like, I'm gonna play my role, I'm gonna build my shit up one by one, and we gonna get something going. So I really believe that even if you in a position where you ain't shining like old dude or whoever, it don't really matter. Stay focused on your 1-2. I don't care if you sleep on the couch,
exactly,
sleep on the floor, you noodles. You know what I mean? It don't really matter.
Yeah.
Play your role. And one thing I appreciated the small things about my roles. I never, like, got mad because I ain't had no whip, or I ain't had no car, I ain't had no crib, or I ain't had this. I was cool with that. I found peace in that, because I say, look, I'm gonna be prepared. My opportunity come, I'm gonna make the best of it. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool. I'm at peace. I'm not complacent, but I'm cool and I'm at peace, and I'm appreciative, because look, I got opportunity to breathe. I got opportunity to think. I got opportunity to, you feel me, get bigger. And when I come back outside, I'm gonna be a bigger nigga. I'm gonna be bigger. I'm gonna be better than what I was in this situation. I'm at war against myself.
Yeah.
Not dude who got a nice car, or I don't care. I appreciate you. It look nice for sure, but like, this about me. You know what I mean? This is this part of life. This part of the phase is about me beating me. Pause. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, I feel you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, that's where I feel social media has kind of fucked a lot of things up for a lot of people, because you see these fabricated lives and you see all this shit that all these other people have, and you're like, damn, I really want to strive towards that. Me personally, I can give a fuck less about having fucking jewelry, fancy clothes, fancy cars, all that shit. That I don't care. There's certain things in that lifestyle that I would love, as far as, you know, a beautiful home, stability. I would love a pool in my yard. You know,
feel like you would like a
it's-
thick Latino too, though, low key. See, that's crazy. I just knew it. Like, you.
I ain't gonna hold you, bro. Latinas are fucking crazy, bro. Latina girls are just fucking crazy, but they're so fucking sexy. Like,
Yeah, you burnt out.
I ain't even gonna lie
For
to you.
sure, but nah, it's
ain't gonna lie to you,
understandable. Like, everything can coexist. You know what I'm saying? When I pop out whatever, I'm popping out however I choose. It don't matter. I'm gonna pop out slippers, joggers. That's what I'm on. I'm gonna pop out Gucci, Fendi, whatever I'm willing to take, whatever come with it. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
Again, it's just about that understanding. Like, it's you against you in every situation. It's not you against the world. You against the Fendi or the money or the fame or the industry. It's really
Right.
you against you, and you'll be surprised what you learn about yourself when you face yourself.
Yeah, and that's a really important thing that a lot of people got to remember, especially me. For myself, I got to tell myself all the time, like, you can't compete with everybody else. Like, it doesn't matter how many other people are doing the same things. It doesn't matter how many other people are, you know, very similar to what I am. I gotta compete with myself and nobody else. And I even got this shit tattooed on my arm. It says, "Be true to yourself." I've always been living by that since I was a little kid. I told myself this one day, and it just stuck with me. It's like, you gotta be true to yourself. You can't be true to no one else if you're not true to yourself, right? So if you're not self-evaluating and learning about yourself through situations, and you're just kind of going through them without thought and just moving on from it, you're not going to get far. You're not going to get too, like, it's going to fuck you up. Like, me personally, I'm always battling with myself mentally of, like, it's like, you ever see like one of those cartoons or something, you got like the devil on one shoulder, the angel on the other type of thing.
Yeah.
It's like, I always kind of am going through that with everything that I do, because it's
I think
like,
it's because people don't give themselves an actual time to, like, really just grow, like, really just be in a place like, I'm growing. You feel
Yeah.
me? Like, I don't have to know everything that's going on.
I think there's a lot of distractions that happen with that, though. Like for me, it's like, a part of me felt like I needed a female in my life of some sort, but then a part of me is like, no, I don't. And like,
Why not? So would you like? You like women though?
no, I love women, don't get me wrong, and I do feel as if, like, to in order for me to maintain my full balance, I do kind of need some type of companionship, because it just kind of helps with my balance waves. However, when I don't get that companionship when I want it, I got to figure out other ways to kind of deal with that balance, like how to, you know.
That's what you need to deal with then. Like, you feel me? Like, if
Yeah.
you can't, I'm gonna be real, and let me finish this whole thought
Go ahead,
real quick. If you can't deal with yourself, you can't be by yourself. Like, for real, I'm gonna be real with you. I don't know. It might be somebody that's gonna respect you, whatever. But if you know your potential, and what you could be, like, you have to deal with certain things about yourself. You can't even be fully attached or in a situation if you haven't even dealt with, like, yo, I'm really on some goofy ass shit emotionally right here.
Right, yeah.
It ain't a woman's job to, you know, and they might take that responsibility, that role or whatever, but for real, you need to really tap in with yourself.
Yeah.
And who you choose based on the emotional state you in, like, can be either a hindrance or helpful. You dig what I'm saying? So it's like, I gotta be in a good mind. I can't be after shorty because
Yeah.
I'm lonely. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
For sure, yeah.
So I need to deal. Why am I lonely? I don't like myself. I'm not really fully comfortable with being myself. So how I'm gonna fully be myself with somebody else? And if the person they meet is not who I really am, we're gonna have a problem later on.
Right, and that's the important thing about finding yourself, like finding who you are, what you like, your pros, your cons, things that you got to work on, things that you know you're strong at. That's where the self-evaluation part comes in, man. And I think that's super important to just kind of learn yourself, because just like you said, like, you can't give your all to somebody else, or you can't be yourself around somebody else if you really just don't love yourself and like know that you're okay with being by yourself. You know what I mean? And that's one thing I've definitely learned through time is like it's okay to be by yourself sometimes. Like,
But you never really alone. That's the whole thing. Like you by yourself, but you never really alone.
Right. I mean, I guess like theoretically speaking, yeah.
So like me, like I'm with somebody. If I'm with somebody, they gonna know certain things about me. Me, I'm gonna take time and I'm just gonna be off doing my thing. I ain't. That's it. I understand that about me. I need that space. That space ain't got nothing to do with you. It's about me.
Yeah.
I got a mentality. I got a level of like it's a certain level of discipline I have to stay in.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a
That's where I
boxer.
fuck up, bro.
At some point, they gotta fight and they gotta go to camp. I gotta go to camp. And you find people. You might find somebody that can really appreciate that predictability.
Yeah.
Like I know why he doing this.
Yeah.
Cause this shit means something else. It's not cause I'm off. Cause if I got enough self-respect for myself, you know I'm not doing certain goofy shit.
Right.
You know everything. When I dip off, I gotta go, commit to something.
Yeah, and I think that's and that like searching has a lot to do with that too, because like for my instance, the situation that I just got out of, Shorty didn't like my podcast. She didn't like this shit at all. She didn't like the fact that I was seen by people. She didn't like the fact that I was kind of well known locally. She hates this whole part of my life. You know what I mean? And if you have somebody around you that can't even respect what you're doing and what your career is, you don't even need that person around you anyway.
I don't know though. I don't know.
For real.
I'm gonna tell you something. Like, I'm not gonna say this. I don't know your situation, so I can't speak to that. But like, you gotta be careful. You gotta, and hopefully you did all the real due diligence to know that she just wasn't supportive.
No,
But,
yeah, I did.
sure.
Through time, I could just tell.
You find certain
sure.
situations where like, for a man, like if you with somebody and your girl don't respect you doing this, it's cause it might be certain character issues that she recognizes about you that you get ready to put on blast to the public, and she don't want you to take that L like that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's one thing we in the crib. I can lie. I can not tell people about this, but you about to go out here and be something that you can potentially be, but maybe you might want to take your time to get to that point. And I say this: if you got a solid somebody or whatever, man or woman, whatever you into, they will let you know, like, yo, you gotta tighten up, and they also let you know if it's time, like, nah, go do that. You deserve to do that. So you just gotta know. That's why you gotta spend that time with yourself to even be real with yourself. Like, yo, I'm really not in a mental space to be out here. As much as I want to do it, mentally, what's gonna come with that, I might not be in the right mindset. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you will learn through trial and error, and eventually you'll get it right.
Yeah, I think because I mean this particular situation, I think it was a lot of learning. This was a situation that I should have been out of. I should have got myself out of forever ago. I don't know why I stayed in it for as long as I did. It was one of those, like, she tried to deteriorate me for a while. Like she would try to belittle me, like just shit like that, like for a while.
But look at you now, look at you now, man. Big podcast, you feel me? Big wrestling.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying is like, so a situation like this, fuck that bitch. To be honest, it was one of those like, it's one of those like, you missed out. I mean, that sucks to be you. I'm moving on with my life. Shit. I mean, I still do my thing either way.
I'm still light skinned.
Yeah, I still do my thing either way.
I'm still doing me. Nobody can change that.
And when I get myself together as far as my health and all that shit, get myself in shape as I've started to do,
I'm gonna be untouchable.
It's really gonna be that simple. If you gonna see me and I'm gonna be like this to the world. I'm not gonna
see you because I'm gonna be too high.
Exactly what I'm saying is you gonna see me, but I'm not gonna see you anymore. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
It's really now just elevating yourself. And I just want to put this out to everybody, man. For anybody who has been hurt and anybody who is very like me when it comes to females, and when you find somebody you really care about, you put your whole life into them.
Yeah, I'm a big lover for sure.
Yeah, if you're somebody like that, don't blame yourself when shit doesn't go the way you hoped it would. It's not your fault. I mean, it could be your fault, and if it is your fault, go ahead, take blame. But like, take responsibility.
Blame yourself for everything. Take full responsibility for everything, and use that as ammunition.
No, I don't want to say that because, like, for instance, so my situation was, I think Shorty was just, I think I was just too old for Shorty, to be honest. I don't think.
Did you choose her?
What do you mean?
Did you choose to be with her?
I did. Like, yeah.
I'm taking full responsibility right then. Because just like, check me out. Enough. Just like if I choose the right one, I'm taking full responsibility. I'm taking responsibility for choosing the wrong one too.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. That's my point.
The one that just didn't work out with, because I ain't gonna say it's the wrong one. Everybody in your life for a certain reason.
Yeah.
Teach you certain things about yourself. Sometimes you could have just been soft as hell in this area. I need to learn. Okay, I need to tighten up right there so I can come like this.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna be honest. Like the biggest thing that I learned from this particular situation was how to be a better leader and not somebody like who's controlling. Like lead and not control. Like, because I think that's one thing that I was kind of like fucking up on for the longest, is that I was a little bit too more on the controlling side than the leader side. And it's more or less like, I think that's what I really learned from this, is more or less how to lead and not control, and then like kind of learn how to talk a lot better when it comes to arguing and shit like that. I think that I took a lot from this particular situation that I knew from the jump wasn't going to last forever. I knew it wasn't about to be a wife. I knew it wasn't about to be a girlfriend that I was about to be with forever. For me, it was really just a transitional girl, to be honest with y'all. It was one of those like, I know I'm gonna find better, but like right now, this is cool. Like this is working for right now.
She was like a shelter, like a transitional home.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was one of those like, yeah,
I'm in between financial blessings.
It's one of those like, my car's in the shop, so I need a rental. Like, this is what that kind of situation was for me. So,
but have you ever like your car in the shop and you go get the rental and they give you like a charger or something,
like a nicer car?
Yeah. Fuck you up because you gotta take it back.
Yeah. So that'd be
that's crazy.
But yeah, I think that's really what that situation was for me. So it's like it didn't hurt as bad as it has before in the past, like any other situation I was in. It was one of those like, well, it wasn't gonna last anyway. It was fun while it lasted. The only honestly good thing about that girl was the ass. Like the pussy was good, and that was about it. Attitude was shit. Everything else was shit about the girl. She didn't really have shit going for her. So, yeah. Fuck it, shit. I feel better.
You sound
honestly,
like
a lot
you do
better.
though. I just tell you this, man. Stay focused. All those individuals out there, like it can't be done. We doing it. You just continue to put in the work, man, and hold yourself fully accountable for everything. You know what I'm saying? Because then you got the power to like do something about it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, fuck it, man. Just for everybody, man, just don't always feel bad for yourself though when shit doesn't go out the way you want it to go. Sometimes it's not your fault. You did everything you possibly can do, and sometimes just girls ain't shit. Guys ain't shit, girls ain't shit. Sometimes we run into just shorties that just ain't fucking what you wanted them to be.
You gotta be a sucker
I mean?
once, then you ain't gonna know what to do the second time. And if it turn into 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, then my boy, you are a sucker.
And then that's really on you at that point. I mean, for me personally,
nothing wrong with being a sucker though. Like that's the whole thing. Like you gotta play your role very well.
I think one of the most important things is stop taking shit so seriously. If it's somebody you take seriously and the shit ends, fucking move on with life. Like, dwell on it for a day or two, be upset about it, but then just fucking move on. Just start bettering yourself. That's the one thing from this whole thing, is that like I was grieving for a day or two, and then after that I was like, okay, time to get over it, time to move on. Because again, I looked at this situation like it was like, all right, you were just a fucking halfway house anyway. So shit, to me it's I want to do better with my life, and she was holding me back, bro.
Like, halfway house is crazy. Like just jumping into these different transitional homes. I'm not gonna lie. Like if I wasn't here and I would think, I don't know. Like that's like I'm a little hurt still, just a little bit. I'm not, I'm not in it, but I feel it. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not at home, but I'm at an Airbnb. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like technically, this is my.
Like this is cool for now, yeah. Like this is cool to chill in for a few weeks. You know what I mean? While my home is being built, type of thing. You know what I mean? Like
Airbnb, that shit costs.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Unless you feel me?
Yeah, no, for sure.
But then you get to Groupon and it's not where you want it to be at. Like if you want to go to Atlanta, they put the Groupon junk in Savannah. You know what I'm saying? So that and Savannah is not Atlanta.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you close to where you want to be, but you not. You know what I'm saying? You not.
Yeah. And I think, like I said, I mean, sometimes like this particular situation was just holding me back, bro. There was a lot of times where I was pushing sessions aside for her and shit like that, just doing shit I shouldn't have been doing just to like spend time with a girl. To me is just not what I should be doing. Like, to be honest, like, music is way more important. My podcast, all of this shit is way more important to me than any girl, than anybody, any of my friends, than anything. This shit is my life. This is everything to me. So, yeah, when other things start to distract that and take me away from that, that's a problem for me. But I also, just like you were saying earlier, there's boundaries you got to set for yourself, to where it's like, this person, like, this is my life, so I have to make sure that I'm doing everything I possibly can for this. And if she's getting in the way, she's going to have to scurry on out, because music comes first for me. This was here. This music loves me. I love it. Music doesn't hurt me. You know what I mean? Like, music doesn't hurt my feelings. You know what I mean? Like, for the most part.
He was crazy as shit, low key.
I mean, I'm just being real, you know?
Talking about it loves me.
Yeah, for real. Music loves me,
that?
bro. Shit, man, because I'm good at it.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that, bro. I'm good at it. If it didn't love me, I wouldn't be good at it, bro. And I wouldn't have done it for this long. Even going back to my, like, choir days and shit when I was a kid.
Oh, shit. He was like a Catholic, I could tell.
Nah, I wasn't in the church, nah. Remember, I went to white people church. They didn't have no church choirs, bro. I'm being real. Like, but school choir, you know? Like, I had solos and shit all the time, every year and all that shit. Anyway. Fucking, yeah, man, you just, bro, I think just the real message there is just love yourself, bro. And don't take full take responsibility for your own actions, and be aware of what you do, but don't feel too bad about it if it doesn't work out in your favor.
My
you know what I mean?
Is drink water and get some money, and you know what I'm saying?
Drink water. Shit, I think I had about one more question that I had up here. So the question that was asked was, what's the ultimate goal with the, you know, I like to talk about it. I mean, for me, bro, it's more or less like, I have Chill, it's just a podcast, and I have the podcast network. So if I get the sponsor, I would want the sponsor to sponsor the network, not just the podcast, like this one specific podcast, but the network as a whole. Because Chill, it's just a podcast. That's where the therapy type shit comes. That's where, like, that type of content falls. But when it comes to interviewing artists or the business or whatever the case is, it's more or less, that's the AVA side of it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's where I'm, like, not really talking about the stuff that I usually talk about on my podcast. That's where it's like the more personalized business questions come, like, you know, stuff like that. So it's really trying to get the sponsorship for the entire network as a whole.
Okay.
That's what I mean. Like, when I do interviews like that, when it comes to the local business, that's just like turning on a whole nother show. You know what I mean? It's not. I don't want it to even be the same vibe for real as Chill, it's just a podcast. That's just me personally. Yeah, know what I mean?
I got you, bro.
Anyway, all right. So yeah, we're gonna end the show, guys. We'll talk about your project real quick before we even do that. I know you were excited about it. Yeah.
I'm putting together a bunch of songs, man. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Man, you gotta record still, so we gonna build it. I do got the name. I'm gonna go with this, like Dark Angels, like some vibes.
Is this the project you've talked about to me already, or is it something different?
Nah, it's something different.
Okay.
But we gonna get to it, and we gonna build that in the next month or so. You know what I'm saying? And it'll be dropping in about another month and a half or something. We'll see. I don't know. I do what I want with my music. So yeah, you know that. You know what I mean? That's 1,000%. So that's it. That's what I'm into, and it's just showing up and supporting my guy. I play my role, and I play it very well. That's what I'm into. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we all play pretty good roles in what we do, man. I know I have enhancements to do. You've gotten on my case about certain things that I gotta look at as far as.
Case.
No,
like
you did. You
like
did, and I
brother,
respected it,
like
bro.
A brother just, hey man.
That's what I mean.
It might be a car you about to run into.
Yeah, exactly what I mean. Like, sometimes you need it, bro. Like, I'm being real. Like, sometimes, you know, when I was really going through that funk, bro.
Cases like baby mama vibes.
All right, I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry, but kind of.
I never do that. Ever.
I don't know the right words to say for it, because to me, you saw something that you know wasn't me, or like you. I feel like. Well, I'm just talking about this particular thing where you just kind of saw, like, this just doesn't seem like this is how you really work, and you kind of called me out on my shit. Right. And that's what the realest people do. Like, that's what the realest friends will do for you. They'll call you out on your shit and not let shit like that slide. Like, if they know that's not you, they're gonna call you out on your shit. And that's what I really think the realest people do, man. And that's why I respected it, because it was one of those things where it's like, I know I'm fucking up. So to have somebody who I have a lot of respect for kind of call me out of my shit as well, it makes you like kind of think a little differently. Not in a, man, fuck him, bro. Like, fuck that shit. It makes you look like, damn, bro, your homeboy who you have a lot of respect for is even seeing this shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
it's a way to do it too. Like, you know, I think
for sure.
That show the respect and how you approach shit. I don't do it on no air. I don't even know why he even said this on air. But I would never do that. I'll pull you we can have a bro to bro conversation. Nobody ever knows.
Oh yeah.
That's what I'm into. I ain't in a, you know what I'm saying?
No, I already know, but that's what, like, me personally, that's what I'm saying. Like, this is where I like to do it, because to me I get to look back at it, and then I can.
Yeah, but that's where I show you something real.
You know?
Like, I show you, I put you on something cool. Like, both things can coexist. Like, we can't change the laws of respect. The laws of respect it goes as follows. You got an issue with somebody you love, you pull them to the side. If y'all want to, you know what I'm saying, show the amends or what you changed on air, that's cool, but you don't change those laws. And that, I'm telling you, keep that rule for a reason, because if it decide to get messy, you know, it get bad. So just keep that boundary. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and
for sure.
Always have a limitation. There's just certain shit you cannot do. It's certain shit you cannot do. You know what I mean? And you will feel it, because it might not even come from you, because you allow certain things to happen to you. And then you be like, damn, why the fuck is this going on? I can't even get this level of respect. It's because you open that door up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I've definitely learned that. I know I've definitely learned that, especially with my show. Like, if I allow so much, then so much is going to continue to happen. And that's where you got to kind of just take control when it comes to certain things, you know?
We reestablish boundaries, we keep moving, because this is what it's about. It's about teamwork. It's about getting somewhere. So it's just reestablish the boundary.
Yeah.
And keep moving. Like, it shouldn't be a thing if you really genuinely love somebody and appreciate them.
Yeah,
you know
for sure. Especially, you know, if it's people you're dealing with on weekly basis, you know, you're always talking to. When you've built a friendship and a bond and a family, it's like you have to still make sure you're setting that boundary for yourself, so that you're not overworking yourself or stressing yourself out and making you resent those people who you once adored and loved. You know what I mean?
And vice versa, them resenting you.
Yeah.
You could be feeling like, boy, you come on, man.
Exactly. And it's also important to have, you know, people around you who can understand you and how you are, and know that, like, for instance, the people who are around me, you know, there was the time where even when you were calling me out on my bullshit, they were too. You know what I mean? And it was a time where I started noticing that, like, for myself, like, bro, you're starting to treat everybody kind of different. You know, you're brushing people off, being nonchalant. You're not really caring. You're doing this, that, and the other.
What we not gonna do? Because this is where I feel like I gotta put this back in a good perspective. It's like, I'm not. So my thing is this: if I let you know something, like, it's because our relationship might be in jeopardy if we don't handle this the right way. Like, if I treat you a certain way, we ain't gonna be able to work it out. And you know, it's cool because, yeah, I don't wake up every day with you. You don't wake up every day with me. It's separation. So as far as it pertains to this, like, we gotta operate and treat each other a certain way. You not just being called out on your bullshit. It's not just you. What it is, hey man, let's find a way to, you know, ease this tension all across the board, because everybody got to work in this situation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, big facts.
And I'ma still do what I gotta do as far as our negotiations and our situations go. And let's do that without too much in the air. You know what I mean? And again, whatever's in the air is not even between us. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
It's no issue. Let's go ahead and, what's going on? You feel me? Holla at me. You know, you can call me. You feel me? If you want to get something to eat, you know what I mean? It's other shit. Like, if some real other shit going on, you need, hey, holla at me. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Before you even get to a place, because what you do is you block your blessings. Not even just with the people you love, but the ones that's coming in. So you want to keep your shit at a minimum. And that's why I tell you, I go to the gym, I train, because I got to be able to be consistent for those that care about me and that look to me for certain things. And even the ones that I'm going to meet that they leaders in they kingdoms, you feel me? I got to be able to match up with them and understand, like, I can't even talk to you like that because you're really a king, bro. So it's just, you know, and that's one of the messages you give. It's not about, like, oh, you isolated on your, no. We got to keep the kingdom moving. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah,
we got to keep the business going. So we got to carry it a certain way. If we not, we can clip all this. You know what I mean? And if it's ways and resources to get this shit taken care of, like, let's have that conversation.
Yeah.
Crying and yelling and no. A lot of times it come down to money, you feel me? And mental issues. It's nothing. Outside of that, it really don't be no problem for most men. My money low, or I'm mentally not running through my checklist to keep me correct.
Yeah,
And if you know that,
for
you
sure.
go straight to them. And that's where I was at with you. I went on no shit like, you feel me? You a
Yeah, no,
problem.
absolutely.
You
Yeah,
spazzing, no crazy shit
yeah,
like that.
no, and I didn't even like think about it in that way. Like I said, I looked at it at that particular moment. I still look at it as I was blocking my blessings and burning bridges I didn't need to build, or I didn't need to burn. Simply, and I wouldn't even say completely burning. I'm
No,
just
you ain't block your blessings because
Yeah.
you ain't gonna get there. You got people around you that's gonna.
That's what I mean. Yeah, exactly.
block your
It's-
blessings.
I got. That's why I like having specific people around me, because they can understand me, and because I know that they can relate, because they're a lot like me in different ways. You know what I mean? And especially when it comes to the business side of shit. Because I can get stressed the fuck out. Like it happens to me all the time. I get stressed out, and then I just start kind of and I start getting into my own little turbo zone here, and I'm just focused and got tunnel vision and shit, and I kind of just say fuck everybody around me, and that's not the best way to do shit. I mean, I'm just being real. That's not the best way to do shit. That's how you start fucking up good relationships. You don't gotta fuck up. You know what I mean?
You just overstress yourself. Like that's
Yeah.
the biggest thing. Like sometimes relationships ain't gonna last. You gotta understand this shit gonna last for a month. This shit gonna last for 2 years. It's gonna be a 3-year joint. This might be for a minute. I'm stressing myself out. Hold on, that's crazy. Like me stressing myself out is crazy.
Yeah.
Not you. I'm stressing myself out. That means nobody around you can solve that. That's a you versus you problem.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. 100% for
Nobody
sure.
can solve that but you.
Yeah.
You dig what I'm saying? So it's like I gotta figure out what's up with me.
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
but like I said, it's always good to have people around you who can understand you and kind of understand what you're going through,
Yeah.
and be able to kind of guide you through it, or give you advice through your situations or through your problems or whatever the fuck it is you're going through.
For sure.
You know what I mean? That's one reason why. I mean, I'm the youngest of 4 brothers. A lot of people know, but that's why I like to keep older people, more experienced people around me. Because they have that wisdom, you know what I mean? Like you was just we were saying earlier, this is like Yoda over here, you know what I mean? A wise
It's the real
person.
truth. I'm gonna tell you the truth because in
Wise
my life
man.
I ain't get no opportunity to do that. Like if I had guys around me, man, and I'm coming up, I can't talk to them a certain way. It's just not gonna happen. Not because I'm not gonna stand on whatever line I'm pushing. I'm just knowing that sometimes it don't be worth it. I think you are a boss and a wise individual based on not what you do, but what you don't do. You feel me? Because you can
For
do
sure.
a lot, but it's what you don't do that really is the testament of your character and where
For
you
sure.
at mentally. So it's just certain things you just can't do, bro. And you just got to remember that and do only the things you can do. So I never had that opportunity. Like I can't talk crazy to my dog. You know what I'm saying? I can't talk crazy to my X, Y, and Z. I might be able to get adamant and express my point, but it still got to be in a certain way. You feel me? Because you don't. I'm only gonna really try to sharpen iron. So that means whoever I'm talking to is iron. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's a test of who I am. So I can't even do certain things, and I put myself in those positions to where, you feel me? Like I can't. I gotta watch how I carry it.
Yeah.
And I think that's a different way of walking in life. And that's even if you're not coming from this certain environment. It's just a good, you know what I'm saying, a good lesson.
Yeah.
Like I can't. I gotta keep it together.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And if you around iron, use them. You get what I'm saying? I call my people, hey man, like I got this issue going on. Like, what you think about this? Bet. That's how, okay, cool. Hey man, I got you on something. All right, bet. Now,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna clash with no iron, especially
Yeah.
not mine.
Yeah. I think a big part of it for me is coming to the realization that I do have higher level or higher valued people around me that I would say, you know what I mean? Like that I have kind of built more solid relationships with people who are financially well, mentally well, physically well, you know what I mean, opposed to being around a lot of people I used to be around who just didn't give a fuck about life, to be honest, who like just didn't care, it just with my anger problems and anger issues, it's good to have people who are very strong-willed and patient around me, to be honest with y'all, cause yeah, I can be a fucking dickhead, dude.
But I'm gonna be real with you. Like the things I see from my perspective, like I don't see it as no issue. I just feel like, you feel me? Like what are you in the business of? You in the business of building businesses and becoming a leader or becoming a boss, or
And that's why I see it as
That's
an
what
issue.
that's why.
Right. And that's why I see it as an issue
Cause it ain't like if you just isolate that. I done seen crazier. I done seen wilder. I done seen worse. So it's like it's not even that. It's just like, yo, what are you like? What are you trying to achieve? Like, what do you want? You know what I'm saying? And it become almost like you never want to be. You never want to be put in that emotional place because it kind of seems immature. Like, you need to know what you want, and then you need to know how to go about it, and then you gotta ask for help. Like, I need help. I gotta call certain people, but if I'm not even in a clear mind to ask for help, like I'm in a certain place, and I don't need to throw no tantrums and get out of my body. I just need to focus, recenter myself, go for a walk, hold on right quick, let me think before I speak, and then approach the situation like a boss, like a gentleman, like a man. You know
Facts.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's all it's about. It's not even, and that show again. It show what you not willing to do. You know what I'm saying? And if it's issues, I'm gonna tell you that if it's not life or death, it ain't no issue.
Yeah, I would say for myself, for the most part, man, I've gotten better with handling a lot of more stressful situations.
Right.
I mean, just taking my partners and all that, for instance, just running the studio, just the simple stuff with the studio. The first month we were in here, it was me being a dickhead to everybody, trying to make sure everything was perfect and right, and bills were paid, and this was done, and that was done, and this and that. And that's really what it was, and I was being a dickhead about it. But now we're on, the 4th month, going on to the 5th month, and my whole outlook on everything is way different. Instead of being a dickhead like, oh, rent is due, oh, it's a day late, oh, what's being a dickhead to the group, they can tell y'all, like, I be fucking hard as fuck on them. Instead of doing that, it's more or less being a little bit more understanding of what they're going through in their own lives, and figuring in problem solving solution, finding a solution, instead of like just jumping to the gun of, oh, you didn't get it paid, so now you're in the wrong. It's more or less like, all right, so what's going on? This is due. What can we do to try to make it's going into just, this is life though, like how I'm going into majority of situations.
Sure.
Sometimes I snap, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. Sometimes I can't control it and I get super mad if something really is just not going the way I need it to go.
Nah, so it's cool. It get better.
But for the most part, with just besides the business shit, just my personal life, bro, I definitely feel like I've gotten a lot more calmer with how I handle a lot of situations, with how I've handled a lot in the past, for sure. It's more or less just learning about myself, and just I don't have the energy to be a dickhead anymore. Like, I do, but I don't. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
Nah, it's just a time and place for everything. You know what I'm saying? You can't, because if you gotta turn listen, I'm gonna say it different. If you gotta do certain things, you just don't want to waste the energy on shit that don't matter, because eventually it's gonna come. It might be a time where you gotta do something, or be in a certain body, and you don't want to be tired because you've been giving it out. You know what I'm saying? Whenever that's all. You feel me? But yeah, you can't be perfect though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like I set expectations for life, like, but sometimes I set them too high. And like I was saying earlier, it's just sometimes I know myself, and I expect everybody else to be where I'm at as far as my work ethic and all that shit. I can't do that. You just can't do that. You can't expect everybody to have the same exact work ethic as you, especially when something is your baby. You know what I mean? Like, I can't expect somebody to raise my child for me. So, that's just where I'm at with it, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's fire.
So, but yeah, man. So that's all the questions I got, bro. This has been this is the type of episode I like right here. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I need my internet to start being cool again so we can start having the chat back, because that sucks. But, I mean, at least we'll be able to see what they say tomorrow, and you'll be able to sit and watch the whole episode when it airs tomorrow. So that's pretty cool, I also appreciate you for coming on short notice. You hit me up today, and I was like, hey, come today. So I appreciate that, because to be honest with y'all, shorty I was about to have on here, I ain't paying you shit, bitch. No offense to you. I ain't paying you shit. I don't know you enough. So yeah, that's a dud. Otherwise, yeah, nah, bro, I really appreciate you coming on. So tell everybody where to find you and all that good shit,
Yeah, find me on the internet. You feel me? On the internet.
Find me on the internet.
It's 3YDA. You feel me? You can go on like Apple Music. What else they got? They got IG, I got a link tree on my IG, so you'll be able to get all my what's the names.
Is your music on Spotify, bro?
Yeah, it's on
All right, good, because that's where I listen to my music, and there's a bunch of your songs that I'm trying to add to my playlist. But
yeah, it's cool. It's on Spotify. You feel me? And that shit like yeah. Merch dropping in a couple months. You know, and I think I might get into like song and dance and shit. You feel me? Like a karaoke vibe. You know what I'm saying?
like performing your own music in that type of.
Yeah, like Broadway. You know what I'm saying? Like a little. I don't know, like maybe like the street way. You know what I'm saying?
Kind of like I'm trying to
Yeah,
fully visualize it.
like okay, like Shakespeare,
Right.
and like Romeo and Juliet
Right. Okay.
meets like Belly, and like Paid in Full. You know what I'm saying?
So like on some like acting type of shit. Is that what you?
I mean, like I wouldn't be acting though. Like if I kind of feel like if I did it, I'd be just myself.
But I mean like, I'm like, I think I'm looking too deep into this right now.
No, you're not looking deep enough because if like you.
Because I'm trying to understand like fully where
Where I'm
you're.
going?
Yeah. Like,
Just doing what I like.
because you were saying like Broadway type shit. Like I'm trying to. I'm talking like, are you taking your music and trying to do some Broadway type shit, or am I just looking too deep into this
I
right
mean,
now?
because you said, where would you find me?
Bro. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
I think
'cause
I was
if-
overthinking.
You
For
get
sure.
what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. I think I
But
understand a little
when
better.
you show up to Broadway, Juliet, Shakespeare, Belly. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah. it's
Nah, I
fire.
respect that shit, bro.
Me too, though. Like, that's why I do it. And I like, for real, one of the things I do the best is what I love.
Bro, that was like the fourth time that shit done dropped in like.
It's really only twice. You overdoing it.
Yeah, bro, you gotta be like Trump when it comes to that shit. Just oversell that shit. We got the greatest, most tremendous shit in the world.
Bro, on Broadway.
On Broadway.
I'm into that. Like, that sounds like a real, you know what I'm saying?
Nah, I'm with that shit, bro.
Yeah. Do you know where Broadway is located?
New York City,
On where?
Broadway.
It's fire. Like, I don't even got to send you the Addy. You know where I'm going to be at. You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate you always.
Always, bro.
AyeMontie.
Yes, sir.
AyeMontie. And we'll do it again, bro.
It's my guy, man. Yeah, bro, I've been trying to get you on this bitch forever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, no, I really enjoyed this, man. Like I said, these type of sessions right here, these are the ones I enjoy, bro, because it's therapeutic and it's talking to somebody I enjoy talking to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we do chop it up. Like,
Yeah, like y'all don't see off camera, like my man's a book a 4-hour session and we'll spend 2 hours talking, bro. You know what I mean? Like it just be that type of vibe, man. So, and I always enjoy it because, like I said, when I talk to people who've experienced a lot of the same shit and are more full of wisdom than I am and can kind of help guide me through my own shit, man. You know, I enjoy that, bro. Helps me learn. Helps
I
me.
appreciate it too, man. Talented dude. You know, and we just enjoying the moment. You know what I'm saying? We just enjoying our time, doing what we like to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure, bro. And hey, man, keep on fucking succeeding in everything you do, bro. You know what I mean? Like, shit, you be out here doing your thing, bro. You know, you're somebody who I look. I'm gonna say look up to a little bit. You know, I look up to you as far as like your mind and your mental. Like, I fucks with that shit, bro. You know, you're a very just balanced guy, it seems, in my opinion, in my vision. I don't know, you know, if you're all the way how I look at you, but I look at you as a very balanced person, bro.
That was
Well,
a slight looking.
But like, cause you know, like everything
put
can
a
look good on the outside,
contingency, yeah.
but on the inside, you know, it could be a lot different. You feel me? So it's like,
it's one thing Rick Ross always said. Like, and I always liked it. Like, he's like under sell and over deliver.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
for sure.
And that's what my mentality is. Like, I don't care much. The image can be cool, but it's like what you really do, like that iceberg vibes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's like just the tip. Like, you know, the ethic is underwater. That's what I do.
yeah,
That's what I do. You know,
yeah,
the imagery of what it looked like don't really matter. I think it's cool to a certain extent to show your happiness and show where you at as a person. But like, I personally am in love with the work.
yeah.
You know
Same,
what I mean?
same. Yeah,
And if you
100%.
don't know that, then that's kind of crazy to me.
I mean, that comes with just being in love with something, man. Like when you love to do something, you don't mind doing the work. You know what I mean? Like when it comes to this shit, I don't love everything about it, but there's most of the things about what I do I absolutely love, and that's why I do it. And even the things that I don't love, I don't hate them. Like I don't hate doing sessions. I just don't love it anymore. But I still love music. You know what I mean? So I just find something you love, bro, and just do that shit, man.
Yeah, we definitely do a part 2, man, or 3 or 4, whatever.
Oh yeah, and like I said, we could do this shit any day of the week, man. It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
You know, cause sessions like this is what I really am striving to start doing a hell of a lot more, opposed to just the fucking outlandish fucking going left, going right, going up, going down type of shit that we usually do on the show. Just ready for a more chiller vibe. And I mean, we don't always have to be so chill, but it's more or less just having better conversations.
I'm like a
man,
fire co-host too, if you think about it. Like,
yeah, this has been phenomenal, bro.
I'm like, you know what I mean?
You had your own questions. I had some questions. That's what I like, bro. Like, that's what I'm saying when it comes to the podcast shit. It's just, I feel like
the volume of your voice right there.
No,
you just got louder.
I mean, I
got excited.
Maybe.
Okay. I don't know. Something changed. Go ahead.
Well, I know, like, when I speak louder or if I get, like, mad close, you're going to hear me out there.
Oh, okay.
So, like, because I turned them up a little bit more because you were way out here.
I was fucked up about that. I was like, what happened?
So, yeah, I mean, I got a little closer. If I get close, I'm going to be,
you know. The button.
I'm going to be all the way up there.
Nah, but it definitely was fire, though, bro. And same shit to you. Continue to do what you do, man. Continue to hustle and turn this shit into a business eventually. And
oh, yeah.
Just, you know, we all out here together. I don't think it's, you know.
For sure.
I don't know. I just stay in your lane and play your role and play it very well. If anything you take from what we had to talk about today is like stay in your lane, play your role very well, and drink water, and figure out how to
stay away from all these energy drinks.
Nah. You feel me?
I drink that shit. I started drinking Monster again. I'm so disappointed.
Yeah, you stay away from thick like Latinos.
Fuck no, dude. That's what I'm going to fucking. I strive for. Just give me some big Latina cheeks to just.
I'm about to get up out of here though.
Yeah, man. I appreciate everybody for coming. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Until next week, we got Roller Rome coming on, man. 3YDA. Make sure you guys are following my boy. His music is dope. It's straight fire. Until next week, I'm gonna catch you guys. Peace.
Yes, sir.